welcome to the live stream. I am your hostess, Jenna Moreci. If you're not familiar, I am a #1 Amazon bestselling author of romantasy books, as well as writing craft books. You can pick up my latest writing craft book, How to Write Romantasy. It's available at all major retailers. Definitely check it out. It's linked below. And my upcoming romantasy novel, The Savior's Army, is available for pre-order. Everyone who pre-orders it, all you have to do is submit your proof of pre-order to preorder@jennamoreci.com, and you'll receive 3 gifts, okay? 3 gifts. One of those is a sneak peek piece of art of one of the scenes from The Savior's Army. One is a full map for The Savior's Army, and the other is the first 6 unproofread chapters of The Savior's Army. So you get a sneak peek of everything that's to come. So definitely check it out. Please pre-order, and I may or may not be announcing tiered prizes when we hit certain pre-order benchmarks for The Savior's Army. So definitely check it out. I'm also a YouTuber here on this channel, so be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, and like this live stream. I'll go ahead and let Iona and Kachu introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Iona, and this squishy guy, hold on, is Kachu.
Hello.
And I'm also crocheting today a little bit, which is this thing, very 90s colors that Babo picked out. But I am a dark fantasy author, and my book Ashes is on Amazon in ebook and paperback and audiobook on Audible. And trying to think of what I do. Crystal ball readings at creepycoreandfolklore.com, and you can follow me at creepycore and folklore on YouTube and Instagram. And I'm trying to think, and I do Wednesday Twitch streaming, even though yesterday I tried to do like a little impromptu weekend one, and then my power went out, so I was like, well, that wasn't meant to be. But you can follow me there at creepycore and folklore as well.
I have a quick announcement before we dive in. Actually, I have a couple of, well, this isn't really an announcement, but if you see me doing this a lot, so I'm working with my OCD therapist on my hair fiddling, and we think it's partly autism and the need to fidget and have things, to busy my hands, and it's partly OCD. So sometimes I mess with my hair for OCD reasons, and sometimes I mess with it for fidgety reasons. So I've been wearing, Cliff has a collection of wedding bands, and this is one of them, and it's a fidget spinner wedding band.
Nice.
And he's letting me borrow it. I also got my own fidget spinner ring, but it's not as satisfying as this for me, because this spins and the other one is a little bit different. So the other one is more ladylike, so I'm going to be wearing that one in public and doing this one at home.
That's
so if
awesome.
You see me sitting here going like this, it's not like a gang sign or anything. I'm just fidgeting. And so if you see me doing this, I'm sorry, I'm autistic. Anyway, the other announcement is next week we're going to have a different kind of live stream. It's going to be at noon Pacific time, and it is a roundtable hosted by Pharaoh Society. Well, it's hosted by me for Pharaoh Society. If you're not familiar, Pharaoh Society is an online community of fantasy romance authors. And I'm going to be hosting a roundtable of successful fantasy romance authors, specifically who write fae. And we're going to be asking them a bunch of questions about how to write fae in this landscape, how to do it in a new, innovative way, so you're not just regurgitating Timo Resand. The authors who will be present are Tassanja Odette, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Serena Knighton, Mallory Dunlin, and Claire Sager. Also don't know if I'm saying that right, but you've probably heard of some of them. They're pretty big deals in the romantasy space. So again, it'll be at noon Pacific time on Monday next week. I will be hosting and asking the questions, and you guys can come into the comments and ask your own questions. It should be fun. So definitely join us, and then after that, it'll go back to our normal live streams on Mondays. Here we go. I love How to Write Romantasy. Both non-fics have been game changers. Yay, I'm so glad. Oh, someone.
It's a big game changer. Is she doing the thing?
No.
No, she's lounging.
She's
even
here to
better.
Say hi. Hello, Bubba. Say hello.
Hey, buddies.
Hello.
Her little eyeballs. She's so cute.
She wants to play.
Her little voice is so cute.
And here's her butt.
Ah, fluff butt.
Yeah, she really needs a booty trim. But anywho, let's see. Do whatever you need to do. I shall. Thank you. The Savior's Assassin. Who was the person who kept calling it that?
I don't remember.
And then remember when Jaden kept calling Haley's book the Heroes of...
Oh yeah, the Heroes of Ezran or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's funny.
That is funny.
But anywho, Butters, you better not... She's about to beg me to play with her. I just started the stream. But anywho, guys, we usually do writing sprints during these streams, which is where we set the timer and try to write as many words as possible for our current work in progress. I will not be providing a prompt for you. You will be working on whatever it is that you need to work on. If you are not working on a work in progress or writing a draft, you could edit for the 20 minutes, you can critique, you could beta read, or you could do chores or something else. I will be working on YouTube scripts, and I'm going to be picking your guys' brains regarding these YouTube scripts.
Nice.
My goal is to script all of my content for February and March this week. So I'm hoping to write 2 scripts today.
Okay.
And then maybe 2 more tomorrow, at least 1 more tomorrow, so that I can film 3 on Wednesday. Basically, I need 6 in total to finish February and March.
Yes.
Let me make sure.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I want to be able to just, it's 6 in total. I want to be able to just focus on the rom-com and also not be like crazy during the release and then be like, oh, I gotta make more videos, you know?
Yes.
So, it's okay. We will wait. Butters is a princess. Well, I need a script, guys. I love Butters, but I need a script. But yeah, all that being said, I will be picking your guys' brain because I know one of the topics I want to talk about, but I've only have 3 points out of 5, so I'll be picking your brains. But anywho, yeah, so that's my goal for this week is to get all the content scripted and filmed so I can relax.
That is fabulous.
I was going to say for my writing notebook story that I'm doing, I have a question for you 2 girls. We are women, not girls.
Women.
What is your favorite Pokemon? Ponyta.
Oh, nice, Vulpix. I like how we switched roles with that one. Because I'm the horse girl, but you said Ponyta. And I said Vulpix, and foxes are like your thing, so I think that's funny. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got Vulpix as like they did this this, you know how they used to give like really good fast food toys and they were actually like really good, they weren't just like dumb plastic things.
Yes.
So it was a legitimate plush that was in a Pokeball that came with the food. And I was like blown away by it. And I opened up my Pokeball and inside was a Vulpix. And I was like, you're the most beautiful being I've ever seen. And now whenever I look it up, apparently it came as like maybe it was a Popeyes one or maybe it was a KFC one. I thought it was a McDonald's one, but it wasn't. And I look at it and it looks a little gnarly. It looks a little lopsided, but I was like, it's still beautiful to me.
I always collected the McDonald's Beanie Babies. I still have
those
them.
were so cute. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like if they gave out, that would be like equivalent to them giving out those mini Squishmallows right now, you know? Mm-hmm. But right now, if you order 6 Squishmallows, they're $40. I only know this from experience. Oh,
damn.
God. It's ridiculous. So
hello. Okay, I like to know who's who, so I'm like, okay.
It's PB.
PB and J. Can I be the J? You know what's funny is that Cliff and I call each other, we call our family Jiffy Butter, because we used to, before we got Butters, we were Team Jif, Jenna and Cliff. Oh. And then once we got Butters, it's Jiffy Butter, like the Jiffy peanut butter.
That is so cute.
We're adorable, aren't we? We're like the one of those couples that's like really annoying, because of how like obsessed with each other we are. Like we're one of those, but that's okay.
I think that's great.
Will Jenna or Iona ever write a fantasy with dragons and dragon riders, since that seems to be a trend nowadays? Never say never, but probably not. I don't like dragons.
I
Sorry.
do like dragons, but I don't just by, like, the look of them because 'cause they're all lizard-like and it's fun. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't see it happening. I think mine's more like woodland creature-y, for ashes at least, and then even the one that I'm thinking of that's a bit darker, that one is feeling more like woodland creature-like again.
If I ever write dragons, they'll be just sort of like they won't be a plot point or like they
It'll
won't be
be
a
like,
main
"Oh, this was the last dragon that ever lived, here's in a
or like
museum."
someone has a pet dragon and it's not
Okay,
not a main thing. It's just a
yeah.
thing that's
Do you think
there.
it got big because of well, dragons have always been, like, pretty
Yeah.
popular, and oh, actually, if you wanna listen to my podcast that I've, put on hiatus for, like, a year or more now, but, I do want an episode of all about dragons, and one of the things that I talk about is that the story of the dragon is one of the oldest stories ever, because there's also a lot of creation stories, and I think it's because a lot of serpents have been around for, like, a long time, so there's those kind of things. But anyway, I kind of wonder if the whole reason right now, the reason dragons are so big is because of the whole Khaleesi thing, and it's
It's
like I'm
it's
a dragon rider, and then it
with
just kinda kept
Smaug,
going.
it's been everyone's been I mean, I have seen dragons in media incessantly since I was a kid. They've always
Yes.
been the number one magical
What
creature.
about the dragon rider specifically, though?
That Fourth Wing and all that shit,
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, I wonder if because that was a thing for, Game of Thrones, was that
Mhm.
whole thing, was, like, she's the only one who can ride them or something, like that kinda stuff, so I wonder if that was,
I
like
like the idea of tiny dragons that are little, like, baby lizard pets. That's what I like.
that would be
It's
fun.
setting dressing rather than anything. Yeah, like, it would be like, for example, there's one story that I had planned that I don't know if I'm ever gonna write. It was
Mhm,
gonna be about, Tablayla's future daughter, and
mhm.
in it, she was going to battle a sea monster, the kind that, like, look like dragons, except they have fins instead of wings.
Oh, yeah.
So if I ever featured a dragon, it'd be something like that, like a dragon has appeared, but it wouldn't be like a main feature. It wouldn't be like, oh, now she's a dragon rider, you know.
Yeah. That totally
Iona's
makes sense.
ideas always sound so mystical and folky. Oh my gosh, I thought you don't even want to know what I thought that said. I'm dumb, but yes,
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Jesus. Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm trying to use. Stop it. I'm trying to use my computer, and I'm dumb today. I'm dumb, 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 dumb.
That's okay. I've been, like, feeling really crummy today, but I swear it's me fighting off something. I think that's only because nothing's even happening, like, my nose isn't running, I don't have a headache. I'm tired, I'm pretty tired, but, like, it's nothing like
Maybe it's seasonal depression stuff, or I don't know. It
me
manifests differently for
me
different people. Mine has just started to go away, like So I'm like, yay.
my seasonal stuff, I call it seasonal, like, depression, I guess it's affective disorder, so it could be anything, but mine usually shows up as, like, me becoming neurotic,
Hmm.
which is totally something that happened. So that's fine. But no, you're totally right. Because I wonder if it 'cause I do tend to feel it, like, more somatically, some of my
Hmm.
symptoms. Could you
Right, that makes
please?
sense.
You're stressing me out.
Not like that. More like a sea serpent. Not like many heads and all that shit. Just one head.
Yeah.
There's this very specific.
I don't know what Scylla looks like, actually.
It kind of looks like a water hydra. That's how I describe
Oh, you're right, you're right.
it. There's this
Don't have
one.
her kill Nessie, please.
There's this one. What's it called? La, 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 la. There's this one scene that I crafted in my brain from when I was 14 that I always wanted to write about,
Mhm,
and um, and it was supposed to be sort of like paying homage to that.
mhm.
Um, where a woman is getting attacked by a sea serpent and her love interest kind of dives in to save her and then gets sucked underwater by the sea serpent
Mhm.
and then she has to like swim down and like save him,
I
like
feel
a
like Key
reverse.
to My Heart is very not similar, but the fear level the stress I'm feeling with
Yeah,
you just even just describing that and the stress I had with Key to My Heart is upsetting.
Yeah, so part of me was like, oh, I could like, make 14-year-old Jenna happy, but I don't think I'll ever write this book. So
I do wonder if like maybe not here, but like in a parallel universe, I think you'd be like really good at writing, like cranking out some YA books that are like really good. And I could see that
you
being.
are so like you're always like that could be YA. I'm like, I don't want to write
I'm
YA.
sorry.
But it's funny because I keep having dreams
I'm not
where
saying that concept's YA either, by the
yeah,
way. I
but
just know, I think it's because I work with kids. So I'm like, they would eat that shit up. And so I think that's why I constantly talk
I
to
keep
them.
having dreams that are like stories that take place in high school, and I wake up and I'd be like, that'd be a great YA book, but I don't want to write YA. And it's not even at this point, it's not even because I don't want to write teenagers. It's just because I want the freedom to not have to censor my work, and that's not,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
not going to be
totally
one
get
of those bitches like it's YA, but I'm not censoring it because I'm an artist. Like but the truth is that I don't want to have to censor it, so it's easier for me to just write for adults.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Also, the themes you cover
yeah, it's just
are adult.
yeah. It's just one,
So,
maybe one day because I keep having YA ideas. Maybe one day I'll write YA, but at this point, it's like, oh, I don't want to do it.
and that's hopefully it's not coming across as me being like, you're nothing unless you birth a YA
No,
baby. Like, I'm not
no.
like, not like that, but it's just more so like even just today, I was some of the things that are getting some of the kids through one of the most vulnerable times of their life is fantasy.
Mhm.
And I love that. Not the hard time part, but like that they're always going to hold those books close to their heart and it's always going to be something that's like supportive to them and like and
Mhm.
I'm just like, man, and those are like, I'm sorry, but one of the ones that the one liked, I was like, there's better. Like you don't have to read that garbage, meaning really. But it was this one. So also it wasn't really appropriate. I wasn't trying to like, but I was
Oh
like,
God.
why is that allowed in here?
You can say it out loud. No one. No one.
Okay. It
This
was
is
an
an
act.
anti-actor
Well,
class.
also for like that, like privacy reasons too.
Oh.
Not
Okay.
that would even be,
Mhm.
but I'm just getting like all stressed. But yes. Oh, man.
Let's see. Hello, Orion. Welcome to
Hi,
Zombo.
Ryan.
I'm going to start a notebook called Questions for Jenna and IONA so I can avoid the problem I'm having again where I had a question last week and I don't remember it.
That's okay. That's what I did. Well, even it's not quite the same, but I logged on and I was like, Jenna, I have so much to tell you, but I don't know anything that I wanted to tell you right now.
Right.
Like, I
That
have
happens to
so
me
many
too.
updates, I don't even know what they are.
My seasonal depression, look at me still fucking with my hair. My seasonal depression is lifting for sure. As the days get a tiny bit longer, it hasn't been too bad, and maybe because I'm taking vitamin D. Yeah,
Yeah, vitamin D helps a
I
lot.
feel mine would have gone better sooner, but I had a PTSD. Basically, whenever Cliff goes to the hospital, once he gets back, he has a PTSD reaction. And so I have to be on high alert to help him out. And then when his PTSD reaction gets better, I have a PTSD reaction. So for a week, my PTSD was bad. And by then, my seasonal depression was okay. But now it's replaced with PTSD. So now my PTSD is much better. And so now it's like, oh,
You're
yeah.
like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, now I'm okay.
Maybe mine is getting worse because it's been like consistently between like 0 and like 11 degrees for like
Ugh.
a week or so now, and it's very, very cloudy because it's always threatening to snow, but it hasn't been snowing. But those low, wispy, I think they're called cirrus clouds, are around.
Ooh. If I ever write dragons and monsters, they will be misunderstood cuddlebugs with razor-sharp teeth that tear apart the so-called heroes. I would love a little like dragon that has a reputation of a chihuahua, where it's like,
Yes.
oh, they're just so snappy and small, and it's like, no, they're sweet. Like, don't be mean. That's what I would like. But
I think that would be fun.
But I would also rather read about chihuahuas than dragons. And there is a chihuahua mix in my rom-com named Fonzie. And then there is a full chihuahua named Pepito.
Ah,
And he's one-eyed.
I love all of the
Have you watched Stranger Things? I've seen a couple seasons of it. I never really got super into it. My husband and I have not seen the final season. It's just we're like,
That's not yet either.
we've
It was
kind
so
of
funny.
lost
We were about to watch
interest.
it the other day, and then Beba woke up and we're like, we cannot watch this in front of her. We'll have nightmares forever. I really, really liked the first season.
I don't think I saw the first season. I think I hopped on at like the third or something
Oh
with Cliff.
God,
But yeah,
that's
I did.
sacrilege.
I'm just
No,
like, this is
just kidding.
fine.
Yeah.
I joined the season that Billy was a thing.
I liked whatever season that was too. I thought that
I
was
was just
season
like, this
two
is
though.
fine. That's how every season I've watched of it, I've just been like, this is a show. Like, this is
Hmm.
whatever. I wasn't enamored like everyone else was, but possibly that's because I didn't watch the first couple
The
seasons.
first one was so good
Um,
to me, but I also know people that didn't really like. They're like, there's some continuity errors in the beginning, but I loved the first season. I thought it was so well done and so good and so amazing. So,
I have something mean to say, if that's
what is it?
okay.
Yes,
You know the guy who plays the main kid, Wolf?
he's pretty ugly.
What
He's
I
a
was gonna say is, remember when he was a child and everyone's like, he's gonna be the next big heartthrob. Everyone was saying it. Everyone
oh,
was
he's
like,
a
he's gonna be
homely
so
little
hot.
guy. I
Huh?
like see, I was like, he's a homely little guy, but he's a really good actor, and he has to be uglier. I wouldn't know he was ugly, you know what I mean? Because I'm like attractiveness blind. I can't tell if someone's attractive unless they're really attractive. I can't tell someone's ugly unless they're really ugly. He's pretty homely. He's like a little.
What's so funny to me is when he was a kid, everyone's like even Jennifer Lawrence was like, I'm gonna wait for him to turn 18, which was
Ew, what
gross.
the fuck,
Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence?
she's she's
Ew.
she's always been gross. But like everyone thought he was gonna be the next, like they all thought he was gonna grow up to look like Gangsta
Really?
Balordi. And I was like, as a child, no offense, I'm not trying to judge children, but it's just as a kid he was ugly. And I was like,
So
and he
it's so funny you say it because whenever my husband and I were watching the first season, we were both telling each other, I'm so glad they have like real looking people in here. Like
right.
they're
And that's how
regular.
I felt. Like
Yeah, I
he
was like, I
looks
love
like
that there's these like ugly little kids running around. Like, I love
right.
that with the
He
bad
looks like an
haircuts. I know
ugly
it's of the
little
style, but
yeah,
like, I
80s
love that
kid,
the
you
people
know?
who are. I feel like the person who's like the prettiest, although she looks really distressed all the time for good reason, was oh my gosh, please, what
Winona.
Winona, thank you. I kept
Yeah.
saying Fiona. Winona Ryder. I think
Mhm.
out of everyone,
I
she's
think she's pretty.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I think everyone else looks like a regular schmegular or a little smidge
Ugly.
ugly.
Yeah, I agree. I 1000% agree. I
So
I think Billy looked hot for an 80s guy. I thought they did a good job of that. Where
yes. Like
where he
yeah, I could
wasn't
tell he
too
was like a hunk or whatever.
right, like he wasn't ripped by today's standards. He was muscular by 80s standards. He had the
Yes.
mullet. I thought they did a really good job of making him a hunk then.
Yes.
But that said, I always thought the kid was on the ugly side, and everyone's like, he's gonna be a hunk. And I was just like, maybe they are
That's a
seeing
really
some.
weird thing to say about a child. Like I
Yes,
can't get
I
over
thought that
that.
was super gross, but I was like,
I
maybe
did
they're
not
seeing
hear
something.
any of that, but I believe you. I'm just like,
Yeah, I was like, maybe they see something I don't see. And now he's an adult, and he looks exactly the way I thought he was gonna look. I'm like, this is how he's gonna grow up. He's gonna grow up to look like a scarecrow,
it's
and
so
that's what he
funny.
looks like.
He does look like a scarecrow, and you know what? He's great for that. We like
Right,
that he looks normal,
right.
and he didn't
I'm
get a
not
bunch of work done. Not that it matters if people get work done. I'm just saying he didn't. And like, and I also liked Dustin. I think he's really cute, and he has a disability, so that's like
mhm.
kind of nice. And like, I just really liked how real everybody looks. So
Right. And like I'm not saying this to be mean to him, because I like seeing more people in Hollywood who don't look like, not to be mean, but who don't look like 7 with her, or 11, sorry, whatever. With the, I like seeing people who look more real and authentic, and not, she can do whatever she wants with her face, it's her face. But it's nice seeing someone who looks normal, in the sense that he's not all made up and he's not Jacob Elordi.
yeah, let me see
But
who Jacob Elordi is really quickly.
oh, he's like he played Frankenstein.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he doesn't look anything. Do you know who he looks like? There is this singer. I know he's like primarily like a bunch of tweens like him right now. I don't know how he came onto my like recommended or whatever, but there's this one song and I just keep like listening to it on repeat. And there's one other that I like by him, and his name's like either Sonder or Somber. Hold on, Somber, but it's spelled without the E. I think he looks like, hold on, let's see. Shane Michael Boos. Hold on.
I've never heard of this guy, but the picture is cute. I think this is how everyone thought Wolf. What is that? His name?
Yes, I was like, that's the closest I got to like what I thought he like. I thought it was actually him in one of the not. It wasn't a head-on picture. It was here. I'll send you.
I think
It's the black and white to the head to the side one where it covers his face. I thought it was him.
Everyone thought he would grow up to look like, and I was like, no, he's gonna look like a scarecrow, and he does look like a scarecrow. But anywho, I just remember everyone being like, he's gonna be a babe, and I'm like, first of all,
stop saying that.
He should be on a list, and second of all, no, he's not. But anyway, once again, I am right. And I only brought this up so that people know.
I like how you're like, I'm gonna be a little mean, but you know that kid. I'm like, he's a little ugly.
you were mean for me, and this is.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
No, you did. You did what I needed. Let's see. The first season is pretty good. I think that was season 3. I loved. I couldn't watch couldn't finish season 4. Billy was season 3. Ew, Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah. I know I'll admit I haven't checked it, but apparently okay. We stand Winona Ryder in this house.
Absolutely. Agreed. She seems so cool.
Yeah.
We don't actually know them, and it's just me like
well, I mean, like I know stuff about her, and there's I don't know if you were old enough to remember
when
her.
She stole something or something like that. Which I'm like, oh no.
Right. And
that's
also she
crazy.
was in a
I'm
predatory
like, rich girl thing to
do. With Johnny Depp, of course.
Oh right, he sucks.
Yay.
He sucks so bad.
Yay. I mean, yeah. Hello, we are doing well. We're just discussing ugly children.
They can't help that they're ugly, and it's okay to be ugly.
Someone pointed out that the last season of Stranger Things was on point for a bunch of older people playing teenagers. Here's the thing, is people always complain about older people playing teenagers, and the way I see it is the reason they always hire adults to play teenagers is because children are protected by law to they have special workplace laws. And if you hire children to play these parts,
you better crank it out because they're gonna grow up.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if you hire children to play these parts, then you have to respect these laws that allow them to get schooling and protection and things like that.
And they still don't. So it's not like that even happens.
So it's like when people complain about adults playing kids and stuff, for me, I would rather see adults playing teenagers than I would see teenagers playing teenagers, because that usually means those teenagers are getting abused by the system.
Yeah.
And
now that's why there is a lot of stuff, thank goodness, coming out about it. Like from like Drake Bell and I'm trying to think, everyone, Justin Bieber, all these people.
Yeah, obviously adults get abused by the system too.
Yes.
But they are in a better place.
They actually have rights. They're not as vulnerable of a population.
Yeah, so
for example, Macaulay Culkin being his kid.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin, that one kid who was in Kindergarten Cop, and all of his money, he didn't see a dime of his money.
Yep.
This has been happening. This has been happening since the stop motion, the non, what are they called? The non-speaking movies?
Yeah.
Silent movies. Yeah, this has been happening since the silent movies. There have been laws put into place because of a child who was abused and neglected during the silent movie era. And it's still happening. And it's like, I would rather see, and also like a lot of teen shows are very risque, and I don't want to see an actual 14-year-old's boobs, like I would, if there's going to be like Riverdale and stuff, I would much rather see an adult person pretending to be 14's boobs. Well, first of all, I don't want that storyline at all. Anyway.
Which is why there's that big thing with Euphoria.
Yeah.
But also it turns out that the guy who made it is like a weirdo. So.
Well, yeah. I mean that's obvious based on the content of the show. Yeah.
It sucks though, because I really liked Euphoria season 1, and then after that I was like, this is weirding me out. So
I haven't seen it just because I was like, oh, it's like teens fucking. This is not for me. Hello, Jenna. I have a question for you. How do you balance interior and exterior character thoughts and actions during romantic scenes? Is there a magic ratio? I don't know how to balance it.
question.
That's a really good question. When it comes to the interior stuff, I just kind of ask myself, how would this character, like, I plan the exterior stuff while I'm, mapping out the outline and everything. And then when I get to the scene, I think, how would this character feel in this moment, and that's how I handle it. It's also different if, like, you're writing romantasy, which is usually going to have a lot of action, versus if you're just writing a rom-com, which is mostly going to be like, there aren't going to be a lot of exterior things in my rom-com, but it's mostly going to be interior, but the exterior things might be like, oh, Jamie and Elena have a conversation about her autism, and how is she feeling internally? She probably feels very vulnerable and uncomfortable because she doesn't talk about this with other people, things like that. So I take it on a scene by scene basis, as opposed to just like overwhelming myself, like, oh, I have to have 50% of this and 50% of that. I think if you map out the path the characters are going to travel through, and then ask yourself at each plot point, like, how do they feel in this moment, you'll get the ratio well organically. I hope that makes sense.
I can't quite because this is me just wanting to add, but it's not related to romance. But in Ashes, I have a lot of the growth that Angela goes through, being like her trying to keep the peace and people pleasing and being conflict avoidant, which is annoying. And having her have like her brother who's super selfish, that she tries to like figure out her complicated relationship with him, especially after his death. He's like pressuring her in all these different ways, and she like trampling her boundaries, and she has this internal monologue of like what she wants to say to him, of like, yeah, because that's messed up, or like, yeah, because that's not what normal people do, like, you are not dealing with this. But she will say the opposite, and I show the discomfort of like her thoughts with her, what she actually voices, and how she overcomes that later on in the book of like character growth wise. So you can also do that. But I really hope for any person / character that their internal monologue of like, this is horrible, and then like if it's something romantic and they're saying it, that's not really romance.
Right.
But yeah, I guess it could be like a side character where they're like going on a date and they're like, eugh.
Or it could be like that character's growth,
Yes.
where it's like they start off as a people pleaser and they realize through their relationship that I don't have to be a people pleaser to get what I want.
Yeah.
Agreed, especially since a lot of high school shows have more adult themes. Exactly. I remember I watched one movie, and I don't know how old the actors were, but they looked young. But I'm guessing that they were older. And there's a full-on sex scene where you see the characters' tits and you see them like full-on fucking. And I just remember sitting there thinking, like, I know that they're most likely adults, but that's gross.
How Euphoria is. They were adults, but it's like, but you're supposed to think of them as kids, and they made them look like kids, and it was very upsetting. That's not what I liked about Euphoria, obviously. Also, there was a whole plot line with the plus size character, and that has like, she's like, that's the reason why it's, and I was just like, this makes no sense. But basically I liked it for the for Rue.
Yes.
With her addiction.
This is the one I was talking about.
Jackie Coogan. Yes, Coogan's Law.
It makes it so that a certain amount of their earnings go in a trust, but some,
and it's small.
Yeah,
by the way,
I was going to say a lot of people are still getting fucked over despite it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! But anywho, guys,
do you want to do a sprintaloo?
Okay, before we do a sprint, guys, since we're talking bookish stuff.
Yes.
One of my scripts is going to be the 5 worst ways to write a protagonist.
Okay.
And I need a couple more worst ways. And
can I say one before I forget?
Sure.
And you tell me if it's on there or not? I don't like if someone is very action oriented, or if someone's not action oriented, it should affect the plot either way. And I've noticed a lot of things are like, it doesn't matter how much action is, it wouldn't have affected the plot. Kind of like the what's that old movie with the that guy,
Indiana Jones?
Yes. No matter what he does, like, he could have not been there and the whole plot would have happened.
Yeah.
For a lot of them. So there's that. And then on the flip side, kind of like someone like Angelo, where it doesn't matter that they're passive, or it doesn't matter that they're inactive, and it just doesn't matter. So that's a thought, but you don't have to add it. But I wanted to say it before I forgot.
I don't know if that's seems less like a protagonist issue and more like a plotting issue.
You're absolutely right. Actually,
but
you're
that
right.
does give me the idea of characters without agency.
Okay, yes.
What I have so far is self-inserts, wish fulfillment, emulating favorite characters, and now no agency.
I really am glad about that you put the emulating favorite characters, because I have noticed that a lot. I don't know if it's because the whole LLM thing is ramping up, but people are like really being audacious about taking like inspiration, but it's like they're regurgitating the same characters that they didn't even come up with.
And it's so hard to talk about this without like just saying so romanticy. But the people who started it, let's be real, the people who started this are male writers in the action adventure.
Yes. And I think that's good to keep that as like the focus, just because anything women like is really shit on, and obviously romanticy is mostly women read, even though it's awesome for everybody.
Yeah.
So
someone said, I'm really sorry to take this off topic, but what should I do if I'm writing a book currently and I have a completely different idea for a different book and I can't focus? Take a day off of your current project to write down all of your ideas for that new book, put it in a Word document or a notes app somewhere. Just take a day off, write all your ideas, and then go back to your current work in project progress the next day.
Yes.
So these are not, this idea from Becky and Kiz, these are not bad ideas, but these are more specific trope issues. And I'm looking for like a whole
character.
Yes, see, this is a trope. I'm looking for a whole way to write a character.
Okay.
I mean, nail biting is a flaw. It's very unhygienic. And I'm saying this as someone who is married to a nail biter, and I love him anyway. But
hey.
I'm just saying it is a flaw. It's not a good thing to do, but that's not a.
Okay.
I mean, I would much rather someone be a nail biter than a bigot.
Yeah.
Or a booger eater, as Cliff said. Their flaw is that they're too attractive.
Well, maybe they're talking about Mary Sue's and Gary.
And I will be touching on that when I talk about self-inserts and wish fulfillment. But I didn't want to make Mary Sue the point. And I'm going to mention this in the video, but because
it's more a symptom than an actual like.
Well, I was going to say neckbeards overuse the term, and any character that they think has too many positive traits is a Mary Sue. And it's like they just use it to call out any character that they're not happy about. Which ones do you have again? It poofed out of my brain. Self-inserts, wish fulfillment characters, characters that emulate your favorite character, and characters with no agency.
Yes. I'm trying to think of more.
Kylan, you know that this is not even remotely on topic. You know this, my darling. You know that this is not even remotely on topic. How do you feel about protagonists that are a little hateable? I like villain protagonists, but the thing about villain protagonists is you have to like them as an entertainment factor. Like you could hate them as if you could hate them in real life, but you have to like find them enjoyable, if that makes sense. Maybe that's what I could talk about, characters that aren't likable, and talk about how that doesn't mean they have to be good people.
No, yeah. Because the too perfect,
unlikable protagonists, and explain, like, you're going to hear this and think I'm talking about good people with good. That's not what I'm saying. Like, you can write the biggest piece of shit on earth, but readers still have to find entertainment in them.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, just like Kaleo.
Right. But he wasn't a protagonist.
I know, but I would read a book if he was. You know what I mean?
Me too.
What about? But alas, he could not play the banjo. Ding 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 ding.
Yes, the protagonist is a main character.
Yeah. I was seeing it was related to what you're saying. It was related to
Side characters are not protagonists.
yes. It was related to like being likable, unlikable. Oh. Can you also you don't have to, but like bring up wait, is she doing the thing?
Yes, she is.
She's doing the thing.
She's waiting for Cliff to notice her. She got her tongue sticking out too.
Papa.
Cliff, you gotta notice her.
I noticed her.
Like whenever Babo's like, Mama, watch this. Mama, watch this. And I'm like, I am watching with both eyes open. Like I cannot watch you anymore. Okay, can you bring up about what the other things where people pick on female characters / girl characters where they like you make them unlikable and they're like this person's they're like harder on them for having flaws.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's relevant though.
I can mention that like
it out loud. Like yeah, it's like a mention thing for like the flip side of the point that you're talking about. So also I think I have to go to the bathroom. So
yeah, I was actually considering making a note about one-dimensional protagonists, but I feel like that's like saying let's discuss romance, like the let's just have a nuanced discussion about romance tropes, and then you're like, so enemies to lovers, which is like the most obvious one. Mm-hmm. So like one-dimensional characters to me feels like the most obvious, but so it's like not worth mentioning, but maybe I should mention it because it's obvious to me.
Listen, that's the other thing. We just talked about protagonists and people are learning. That's literally why they're here. But people are learning and they were suggesting side character stuff. Yeah. And then also something that's an autism test is maybe you've already done this before, but what is similar about what is similar between 2 and 7? Like if you have those.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be they're both numbers.
But yes, me, but we all know that
top.
It was like one. It has a flat, like it has a straight and a curve, like or like it has one angle. Like there's so many things, or like has 2 endpoints or whatever. Like it's so many other things, but like
yeah. So how do you pronounce this word?
Deuterogenist, I think.
Deuterogenous.
But I'm just basing it off of like Deuteronomy, so I don't actually know if that's right. Maybe it's agonist. Deuteragonist.
Someone tell me how to pronounce it.
Do you mind if I run to the bathroom?
Deuteragonist is how it says it on. That's how it says it in the dictionary. Is deuteragonist. So that's what I'm gonna say, and if it's wrong, it's the dictionary's fault. Okay. A deuteragonist is a side character, but a side character isn't necessarily a deuteragonist. That's the answer. Now that I can say it. You should name your cat Meowth from... Yeah, she's just going to change the cat's name after it's been alive for 7 years. That's a great idea.
Yeah, how old is Buttercup?
7.
Yeah, he's just like like a couple months older than her or something. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about token characters because it always gets white people up in arms. Like, yeah, if you put a person of color. Someone commented on my fantasy video recently where I was talking about tropes I hate, and I said I hate it when every character in a fantasy book is white. And the person's like, I gotta disagree with you there. You shouldn't add a token. They should add depth to the story. And I'm like, why would you think that adding a person of color.
It's like this is a lot of subconscious showing.
Right. So if a person of color is in a book, they're automatically a token. They couldn't possibly why can't I add a person of color that moves the story forward and has a point?
It's like whenever people are like, I have to use this, or other people have to use ChatGPT to write stuff because they have disabilities. And it's like, bro, people will paint with their mouth. Right. Like, get a grip.
So whenever we talk about adding tokens, there's always white people. They take it, so yeah, don't add black people. I don't want to.
It's like, I don't want to. Yeah, it's like we already have to talk to these people enough. And by we, I mean you. Mostly.
Yeah, that comment I got, it was enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm glad that I'm quitting you too. I can't, even though
the call's coming from inside the house. It's like, no one said that, but you said that.
Oh, I know that's the point you were trying to make, Casey.
Yeah.
I knew that.
No, Casey, we're on the same level here, girl.
That is not. That, trust me, Casey. We're sisters here. I know that's the point you're making. I've just been on YouTube long enough to know
She doesn't want
how
to deal with the randos that show up. That's like,
how they're gonna twist it. I've been there long enough to know that they're gonna find a way to use that point to be like, yeah, don't write about black people. I'm just
yes.
I don't want to.
Like, I don't know if this if this shows anything, but like basically anytime I go online and I do not the longer form, like for my oh my gosh, podcast episodes, but the little shorts I would add about like folklore, and I'm like, oh, there's actually like the origins of this story are way more messed up kind of thing. And that's like a common hook. But every time I did this, there's apparently this like folklorist, or maybe he's just a guy that likes folklore. I don't know if he's an actual folklorist, but named John Solo, because it's like off of Han Solo. And everyone comments, John Solo shot first because Han Solo shot first, and is the joke in the Star Wars thing for something. And I'm like, there can be two people that talk about this.
Right.
Like, and so it's the same thing where you're like, oh my God, I know what comment I'm going to get, and I don't have enough energy for this right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to say something, and now I can't remember what it.
Also, do you mind if I run to the bathroom super fast?
Yes, go for it. What was I going to say? Okay, it was something about these fucking idiots that leave these comments, and now I've lost my brain. My brain died. Let me see. Words, sentences. It was a good point. Sorry. I also got sidetracked by Cyborg Central. Because you guys are really, really funny. What is it? What was I gonna say, brothers? What was I gonna say? She's just sitting here like, I don't know. How about I join you? Yes, come. Why don't you come tell everyone what you want to say? Look at her standing on my shoulder. Hi. Thank you. Don't you wish you guys had a little parrot chihuahua standing on your shoulder? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry, guys. We have to take a kissy break. Thank you, Butters. I love you, too. I always thank her for kisses, and she knows what that means. You had to deactivate your brain to put yourself in their shoes. Exactly. But yeah, I'm just so used to getting stupid ass comments like that and I know I've talked about this before, and I know that a vast majority of my audience is amazing. Like, look at you guys. You guys are wonderful. But dealing with that percentage of just fucking idiots is like, it gets to a point where it's kind of like sometimes like the idiots that come through where you'll see a lot of people who are like, I don't like this advice. It's like, well, it's free on the internet. Don't watch it if you don't like it. Like, why are you throwing a fit? It just gets to a point where it's like, this isn't even worth it. And like, I'm doing this to try and help other writers, but then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I did my part. You know, you're on your own now. Oh, yes, sweet Princess Butters. I have a little collie sitting on my shoulder. The chihuahua would be nicer just because of her size. Yeah, she's only 7 pounds. Look, they're talking about you. Hi. Sweet little poo-poo. Little dog kisses are the best. Yeah, she's a very affectionate lady. A minority character as the MC by a white author doesn't bother me as long as they're not stereotypical. Cool. Oh, that's so sweet. I bet he is frolicking over the Rainbow Bridge with my past dog, a toy poodle named Rainbow. I don't like it when a story has only white people. Oh, so you hate? Oh yeah, I got accused of reverse racism because I was like, I don't like it when a story only has white people. It's not believable to me. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Like some of the. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I remember I made a video where I talked about it's irritating when a disabled character in the books only contribution and personality trait is their disability. Like that's all. It's just. I'm the disabled person and that's it. This one person one of my stalkers is like, well, you have a disabled person in your book, so you don't take your own advice. And it's like, I literally didn't say don't write disabled people. I just said don't write disabled people whose only personality trait is being disabled. Like, don't write a disabled person who's just like, I'm disabled. By the way, I'm disabled. Everything's about me being disabled, you know? And they're like, well, you have a disabled person. And it's like, yeah, so that's what I mean about dealing with idiots, where it's just like, God. Anyway, but I remembered now. Not the reverse racism card. Interesting. I'm a person of color, but most of the characters I've created are white. So, like, yeah, I'm going to need to change that in the near future. I mean, you can write what you want, but
okay, so there's this author, and she talked about this publicly. So, and this was a while ago, but her name's LaSalle Sambury. And on her YouTube channel years ago, she was talking about how she wrote, she loved writing characters, specifically like Latino characters, because she was interested by the Latino culture, but that's not her culture, or her race. Well, she's Black, and specifically Trinidadian. But she was talking about how that was something that later on, she's like retroactively looking at it, that she realized that she's like, actually, I don't want to write Black characters. And it turned out that that was kind of related to like some internalized stuff she didn't even realize she had. I'm not saying that's what Josiah is going through or Josiah is going through, but from that comment of like, I might need to change that. Like, you can write whomever, whatever. And especially whenever you're mixed, it's kind of hard to like whatever, but I just wanted to throw that out there in case there's some internalized stuff, because it's hard not to internalize things, honestly.
Indeed. I think we all internalize stuff, and sometimes you'll notice it when you're writing, like, oh, this is a me thing. Like when I started writing about PTSD, and I was like, why am I so interested in PTSD? Oh, I have it. Cool. Nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. The Xavier's Army, any quote on the cover? There's a quote on the back of the book.
Nice.
We should probably, I know that I have to do it. I know I have to do a script, but
did you find another, or did you need any more points?
I now have 6, and I don't know which ones to remove.
No, keep them all.
No, it's gonna
do 5 times more work.
Yeah, exactly. I love
you can make it a 1 and 2.
Yeah, but then I need to come up with 4 more points. Oh,
what are you talking about? Sorry, what's the math? What math are we doing right now? What's happening?
What do you mean?
How many do you need? I just don't understand.
I do 5 per video right now.
Oh, okay.
6, so I have to come up with 4 more. But I could do a second video. I just need to come up with 4 more.
I'm like, I don't understand. 6 plus 4. I'm sorry.
It just got me, but it did. Okay, hold on. So yeah, guys, keep coming up with shit if you want.
Kissing Iona, you are trying with 2 exclamation points.
Worst ways to. I'm starting my script. Hold on, guys. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Where did I put it? I put the title. Worst ways to write a protagonist. And let me make sure I get the intro. Hold on. Don't leave me, Butters. Don't leave me. I love you. Okay, TSA costs. Oh, no, this is not.
Your eyes are crazy right now. Like, I don't even understand what's happening. Your pupils are so like thin. I'm used to seeing Kachu with his pupils like humongous. So I just like don't. What are you? Oh, my little chin. Your little chin.
Hold on a second.
Take your time. Hello. Hello, my beautiful boy. Let's see if I can brush your tape out a little bit more. I want it to be as fluffy as possible.
Okay, sorry. Oh wait,
We're just doing ASMR. I'm brushing fluff and you're typing, and it's like the best.
Oh yeah, you like typing. Everyone loves my fast typing. Okay, wait, where? Oh, I have a whole file of topic ideas, and
you do?
I forgot about that.
Yay, pass Jenna! Coming in clutch.
Savior's Army is available for my second rank for the Virgo. Okay, I'm just getting the closing shit done. Okay, and let's see what this file has in store, because sometimes they're old and then it's like, I don't want to do any of this. Okay, topic ideas. M dashes, a video all about M dashes. I don't think I want to do that.
I mean, right now, a very stupid thing that's happening is that any author that uses M dashes is getting accused of using ChatGPT, because ChatGPT went through either now going through or was going through a stint where just like all it wanted to do was use M dashes. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I'm just tired of giving certain kinds of advice.
Yeah.
In general, I'm tired, like the protagonist video, like obviously this is writing advice, but I've been preferring giving opinion pieces versus advice, because every time I give advice, people get so fucking pissed off, and I'm just over it. Even though I don't really care.
Then you can be like, it's my opinion. It's my opinion. Like you can be like, it's my opinion. I said it.
But I can't make it my opinion about M dashes, you know? So it's like, let's see, writing thrillers. Okay, I don't write thrillers. Writing sci-fi. Other authors? These are suggestions sent in to me.
Mm-hmm.
Other authors.
You could do like where other authors send in like advice, and then you can kind of like cobble them together.
I made that video before, and then it always comes out that one of the authors really is problematic, and then I've got a video with them.
I love that. I love that for everyone.
I'm always curious about other authors' experience publishing. Whenever I interview people, no one watches it. So
that's fair.
Different types of diversity. Would love more interviews. Maybe someone who picked up writing professionally later in life. Mm-hmm. But like, what would you say? I don't know. Some of these topics I'm too autistic for, because it's like, so you picked up writing it later in life. What was that like? It's like, well, I was old and I was writing. Like that's.
I think maybe, you know what I think a lot of people want
validation and
more like cheerleader type like pep talk stuff, which is like totally fine to need that sometimes,
right? But it's
that's
hard
not your
for me
channel.
Because I'm such a cunt. and I'm just like what fucking and also I'm just such an asshole, because I'm like, most famous authors got like started later, or they got big when they were old. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like,
I remember one of why
are you freaking out about this when this is the norm, you know?
Yeah, I think this is just in that moment they want someone to be validating, which is totally fine to need that or want it, but
I feel like, and this is just again me being a cunt, I'm aware, but like Google old authors and you'll see that most of them are old, you know?
A lot of people don't know how to self-soothe. They don't. Yeah. There are certain things, like I'm literally flipping out right now because I'm editing the next chapter that you haven't critiqued yet. Because you did the first two and then I squished them together and now it's a lot better. But I'm like, all right, I'm going out on my own, as if I've never done this before. And I'm like petrified that I'm going to send it to you and you're going to be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's literally what critique partners are for. And also, you don't care. Because if you get through a little bit of it and you're like, this is ridiculous, you can be like, this is too bad. And you have to fix it. Like, you're not going to waste your time. So I don't actually have anything to worry about. But I still do. And for some people, they are told that they're like, at this particular time in your life, like, you better do XYZ by then, and they're like feeling all stressed out. And when they
And
learn about people that are like, most people pick it up in their like 30s
right.
that or 40s that they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
and like
okay.
this, shut up, TM Sparrow. I'm almost 38, so I'm on track to make it big when I finally have a book ready to
Yeah,
publish.
see, I think that's how most people are.
But the thing is like 38 isn't old.
It's
Like there are
also
people,
not old, yes.
yeah, so
But
it's like people are like making it in their 60s, you know.
I wonder if maybe people are going through like a quarter life crisis or like a midlife crisis and they're freaked out.
A lot of
So
people are under this impression. I think it's because of celebrity culture, and we see celebrities who are 19 years old, and
mhm.
everyone is like, "Girl, I'm older than you, and I don't feel old." So
change your heart.
yeah,
No,
but I think it's because of celebrity culture, and like people are famous at 19, so people think that that's normal, and it's like,
yeah.
no, most 19-year-olds don't even have a bank account. Like,
Yeah.
calm down. But
Yeah.
but anywho, like I'm looking at these ideas, short stories, experience minds in writing that you might not have. What? Horror writing, Lindsay Ellis. Anything to do with marketing, writers on writing, R.F. Kuang on her novel, The Poppy War. Sure,
I love that you're just like friends with everyone.
Right. The
Oh
topic of controversial themes. I need to delete this folder. Book reviewers. Oh, half of this shit I've covered. How people from publishing industry and or other self-published authors who've made it. Jack Edwards. I don't even know who that is. Race and a Black and a AAPI author. Maybe comparing how to respectfully write cultures. I mean, that's a good idea, but again, I have to interview people for this, and people don't watch my interviews. So it's like, you guys request it, but then the numbers don't show up. So it's like, editors and those involved in the publishing process, my editor videos never perform. So I stopped making editor videos. And I get so many questions about editors, and it's like, you guys aren't watching the videos. Editors for hire and the paid edit writer dynamics steps. What?
Maybe they want to know what the different types of editors are, which you already have a video about that.
Right.
And also not to hire a schmeditor, which you also have a video about that.
How to write people of color characters if it hasn't been done. KM Wheeland. One is just non-binary. The kind of writer scenarios that require research to be done well. Sorry, I'm so mean. I'm like, these are submitted questions, and it's not that they're all bad. It's just like, a lot of these are things I've done. And diversity. I have a whole video titled Diversity. And I got so much shit for that one. Reads with Cindy, V.E. Schwab. Yeah, I'll just invite her over. I had an experience with her on Twitter, and she's something. I'll say that. She's something.
I love how kids like, yes, my favorite writing advice, non-binary.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done going through this.
Do you have a folder of your own ideas?
I have a spreadsheet of my own ideas, but I stopped kind of referring to it because it was I basically was making a list of the stuff that I thought would perform well. And first of all, the trends have changed. This was before I took my year-long break. So this list, the it trending well is not necessarily the case anymore. And also, I'm more interested in making content that I can tolerate making now. Like, that's the higher priority to me.
That's totally fair.
That's why people will give me advice. People, like, I'll ask in Cyborg Central, like, what topics do you want me to cover? And people will give great ideas, but I don't feel like talking about any of it.
That's totally
so
fair.
Like, it's not that the idea was bad. It's just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Coming from someone who wants to be an actress, there's people like Dorothy Steele who didn't start acting until her 80s. That personally gives me a little hope that you can get success at any time. Yeah, exactly.
Also, don't knock or forget about local performance places as well.
Yes. I personally am of the mindset that if you want to get big in Hollywood, you probably have to compromise yourself in some way, and it's not worth it. But there are other ways to become an actress, obviously. I do not like Reads with Cindy. Why? Is there something I don't know? Is there?
I always liked her stuff. She's very snarky, but I kind of like that sense of humor. And some of her tastes don't match mine, but that's pretty normal. I mean,
I
we
don't
can't.
usually mingle or familiarize myself with the reading community on YouTube only because every YouTuber I've ever met has been an awful person, and so I'm at a point now where it's like I don't need to meet anymore.
You're like, I'm good. I've been traumatized enough. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't need to meet anymore. I cannot tell you a single YouTuber that. And
I'm
I
happy
mean,
for her because she got like a book deal,
yeah,
and it seems really cool. And it's a sapphic retelling of Sleeping Beauty, and she talks about her hypersomnia symptoms with depression, and she writes Sleeping Beauty like that. That's like what her like. I saw her. Yeah, but I haven't watched her for a little bit, but I watched that one because I'm excited that her book is coming out.
I'm
She's following her
always
dream.
scared for booktubers who get book deals because the book could be okay and they just get slammed because it's not perfect.
Oh yeah, and she's been
I mean,
good at being a critic, but
yeah.
she did kind of it sucks because she's a critic, you know she's gonna get attacked. And she's a woman of color, and
Yeah.
yeah, I feel for her, but I bet you I'm optimistic about how good her book's gonna be though. But it's also YA. So
that's kind of the problem with being on YouTube. I mean, like, even if you're an author tuber, my books have been judged harsher than they would have been judged if I wasn't on YouTube. But at the same time, I wouldn't have become a full-time author if I wasn't on YouTube. So it's kind of,
that happened to this psychologist I really like, Dr. Anna. I forget her last name, but she has a psychology channel, and she talks a lot about like estranged parent-child relationships, all sorts of very interesting things that are like relevant. Like one of her videos recently was about, I haven't seen it yet, but it was about the psychology behind predatory people, stuff like that. And she's usually really knowledgeable, and like she doesn't do the personality disorder slander like a lot of people do, which I hate, but she doesn't do that, and she knows where it like comes from. So I think that's cool. But all that to say, she wrote a book totally like under a separate, I think it's under a separate name, and she what did she do? It's like fantasy, and it's like kind of is like a dark fantasy because it has horror elements in it. And she wrote it, and a bunch of people found her book and were like, because they were mad about her estranged parent video. I'm like, oh, I wonder why.
right.
And then they went in and slammed her book and stuff. And
Yeah.
there's a whole thing with that. And that's just her like existing as like totally having separate lives kind of thing. But
yeah,
I happen to her.
The last time I could make it to a live stream was during my phlebotomy program.
That's
now
cool.
I'm licensed. Yay!
That's so exciting, M/Emily.
I applaud her success. I really don't want to hate super hard though. So my guess is that, and I don't watch her videos. I don't know much about her except that she's supposed to be funny. So my guess is just like a personal preference thing, and that's okay. Everyone's allowed to
totally, yeah. And you can like not like the style, like.
But if there is actual like problematic tea, I want to know.
Problematic tea.
Was it Dr. Anna Elkins?
Let me see actually, because I really don't know her.
If you go into Cyborg Central, you'll get to see Butter's little sploot. She's so cute.
Hold on a second.
With her fluffy butt.
I wonder if I have her saved in like a watch later thing, because I really oh shit. Hold on 1 second. Because I thought I put her like psychology of predators on here. So psychology with Dr. Anna. Hold on, let me find her person.
While she's looking that up, everyone follow me on Instagram and please interact with my most recent post because I'm afraid that it's going to go into Instagram jail because it's spicy.
So. Oh yeah, more reason to like it. I reposted it.
Thank you.
And shared it on my story. Okay, this is her. I don't know what her last name is. She's first generation American, but her family is from. I don't remember anything about this poor woman. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I watch her and I don't remember anything. I don't know, but she's very cool.
100%. I'm not saying she's a bad person. Daniel Green is a bad person. The fact that I know one of Daniel Green's victims personally. So the fact that
So.
Yeah, he has more than one victim.
Yep.
I know
certainly
one of
does.
them personally, so it's just kind of like I'm not surprised, but it is.
It's still
very-
disgusting.
Yeah.
But that's good that she's not a bad person. Maybe she's just not to your taste. And I could
Right.
totally, she has a very like personality, like a brusque personality. And
Right. And I actually respect that you're like, I don't want to talk shit about her. She's just not my vibe. I respect that because there are a
that's
lot
so
of people,
normal and healthy.
because there are a lot of people who I am not their vibe, and that's totally fair, you know, because I'm autistic. I know I'm not everyone's gonna like me, but there are people who I am not their vibe, and they will like 1-star all of my books, even though they haven't read them. They will like write hate posts about me on oh my gosh, people didn't know about Daniel Green.
The short version is that I'm alleging, this is allegation, that he's a rapist.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
So, and he's very good, in my opinion, at grooming audiences so that when people come forward, not just the one, but when an imperfect person comes forward, he's groomed his audience enough that it either gets buried and people don't know, which is not your fault, but like they don't know, and or they're like, well, it's not real. But it's like, why has this happened multiple times then? And it's the same story each time. So
yeah, I'm trying to what Iona said. Like, I'm nervous because I've been attacked by his fans before.
Yeah, because he was a weirdo to you.
Yeah.
But that was a whole other thing.
Yeah. It wasn't, he didn't sexually.
No, not sexually. Thank
he
God.
was just a weirdo to me online.
Yes.
Adjacently.
Adjacent.
Look at this. Yeah. But see, I don't even know who this person is, but basically I know one of his Daniel Green's victims personally. So I knew about this before it was public.
Yeah.
But apparently it had already been with a different person. It had already been public, but it got buried. And then this person went public, and they found a way to discredit her. And yeah, so
it's a whole thing. Also, side note, something that is public that is more adjacent to what we can all interact with is that anytime someone gave his he depicted police brutality in like it's a means to an end kind of way in his book, and at the time it was around George Floyd's murder, and he was writing he had a book that came out. It was just very tone deaf. Some people thought, I don't know, I didn't read it. Some people thought it was tone deaf, and he responded to each of the reviews and was like, well, how do you think I should have done it better then?
Yeah,
and it's like, that's so gross. You're not supposed to talk to your reviewers. That's disgusting. And also they're not under obligation to tell you how to write your book. They're critiquing for other, or not critiquing. They're not critiquing. They're writing reviews for other readers and talking about their own experience with the book. So yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
Man, I was just about to do a sprint. I'm such an Aquarius, because I was just about to do a sprint, and then I see this, and I'm like, well, now I'm not gonna. Because I think they'd be, where's the right with me part? They've been quiet this whole time, and now where is it?
Yeah.
I joined his Discord years ago when I was trying to find more connections and network with readers, and the whole vibe was like, you may not directly message Daniel. Do not look to
I don't want to. His eyes freak me out.
You didn't take it to a bad place. I'm just very, very, like I said, I've had his fans have attacked me before, and so I'm very like, and that's the thing is like, that's like the kind of community he generates. So I'm like nervous about what I say.
Oh, I'm like, guess what? I haven't been hit by the.
Yeah, but I'll you know what? I'd be more than comfortable giving the whole spiel in Cyborg Central. But what Iona said is basically the condensed version of it. But yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, even outside of that, he's a neckbeard, you know, it's very like, why are women in the Star Wars kind of vibes? But anyway, okay, guys. Let's go ahead and do a sprint. I'm gonna work on this stupid script. Yeah, Butter, they said sprint. I I thought she was gonna give me kisses. Look at that little face.
It.
No kisses? Okay, she's just gonna snuggle with me. I'm ready. I'm ready. Women in Star Wars.
I don't think he actually has said that.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he said that either. But that's very much his
vibe.
fandom. You know, it's just and he.
Oh yeah, definitely the fandom too. Yeah,
he makes fun of a lot of like stories
women.
that are made for women, and it's kind and you're like, oh, this is stupid, and it's like, well,
he also really goes after female authors.
Yeah.
So.
Anywho, guys, we're gonna.
Sorry, I'm all done now. I'm sorry. I get like worked up about it.
It's all good.
I love how you're like, okay, we can move on. I'm like, anyway.
I would have no problem talking about this in Cyborg Central, but on here, like, I'm genuinely like, I don't need to be like attacked again.
I'm sorry.
Yes. I'm going to work on this stupid book. That's me with my script. Going to work on this stupid bitch of a script. Fuck dickhole.
I'm going to work on chapter 3 of editing my book, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry if it's bad.
I gave you all the tools. It will not be bad.
I know, that's why. No. That's literally why I'm like upset. Because if I go in and I edit and you gave me the tools and I didn't, I don't want you to think I'm stupid, even though I am.
I'm doing a loud laugh. Cliff is gonna get mad. I'm sorry. Oh, I missed it. She was sleeping with her head on her.
I'm gonna do my little like thing. I'm sorry. Will you still be my friend if I'm stupid?
Yes, you need ERP.
No, but I'm genuinely afraid.
I know, but that's the OCD. You need ERP, but yes,
it's my real feelings. It's real.
No, I think it's OCD.
I love how all of my fluids are coming out of my face.
IONA, I will still be your friend,
even if I'm really stupid.
No, okay. I'll just say this privately.
Okay. She's telling me no, she wouldn't.
No. I remember when I was friends with the latter, I would message, this is so mean of me, I would message Samantha and be like, she's so fucking stupid, I can't handle it. And Iona was like, not Iona, Samantha was like, well then why are you friends with her? And I remember thinking, and I remember saying, well, she's a good person, but she wasn't, she was a horrible person. I remember looking back and be like, why was I friends with her? So, yeah, no, like, seriously, like, come on.
I also don't think I'll ever. That's what, so one of my fears is that, and the other one is this of
You can't tell, but she's standing on my boob. Not the top foot, but the bottom foot is right.
That's hilarious.
Boob. She's like, I need the boob for support. Where'd the message go? Oh.
Okay, those are my last. That's my last bit. It's my last, like, those are my 3 fears. Is the stupid one, that one, and that one.
No, I already think the story's a good idea. Like, the issue with that other story, the Birch,
that one. No, I know why that one was.
Didn't have a plot
with Birch. You know? Yeah, it didn't. It was just
also,
like
all first drafts are turds. Every book is polishing a turd.
But I think, whenever I had to work on, hold on,
Butters is giving me kisses to give to you. Here.
Oh, this one. This is the one where I'm just like, basically, this one and
Who's that?
That one.
Who's the first one?
Sorry, this is a horrible way to remember. But that one I was just like, okay, like
I forgot that was her name.
That's hilarious. No, that's not her name.
It's your turn, draft. Exactly. No, I will. I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you. Please don't let me walk out with my fly down. Basically,
this has been okay. Here's the thing: is can I just say, like, basically, Iona wants to know if, like, she wants me to tell her if it's like
bad.
Yeah, she wants
And
me to
also
tell her
tell me
it's
if I'm
bad.
taking advantage.
You're not taking advantage. You're my fucking critique partner.
Okay.
But she wants me to tell her if it's bad, and the whole reason that I have lost friends in the past is because I'm so willing to tell them if it's bad.
You're totally right.
And
Okay.
Iona's like the one person who's like, please tell me, and everyone else is like, no, just
I'm
say
like,
it's good.
please tell me. And then you're like, and it was funny because I was like, it's fine. I've written this first draft, or I actually had drafted a couple times. So I'm like, it's draft 3 when I sent it to you. And I was like, okay, I've written this, but like, it's still messy. And I realize now I need to edit as I go because I'm like really overwhelmed. And you're like, it has, and as you were typing, I was like, I can scrap it if need be. I'm willing to kill this thing. And you're like, it has good legs. Keep going. Don't
It's
shelve
just that
it.
it was underwritten. It was just tell and not show. That is
Well, I
easy
can't
to
believe I had in
come
my
back
head of
from.
like like she needs to be a narrator, even if it's first person.
Right.
I know this, but like I do. What happened is I did get rusty over the years. I think that's another thing that's
Mm-hmm. And
like
that's to be expected.
yes, exactly. But I think that's why I'm like. It's like going back to, I say this as if I know what I'm talking about. It's like going back to the gym after you used to be real buff, and then you're like,
Yeah.
hey.
I mean, the same thing happened to me, so it's like, why wouldn't it happen to you? It's gotta have
That's
knowledge.
fair.
It's
This
so
is
funny.
literally your career, so.
It's so funny when they get to click clacking away. Your hair looks gorgeous today. Oh, Iona.
Thank you. Okay, so yesterday I tried out this new hair gel and I put it in and it's supposed to be soft hair gel. And at the time my curls were perfect and spirally. And then I slept on it and it came out like this. So I was like, well, this is nice. And I just had it air dry too. So I was like, this is really nice. And it smells really good.
Oh,
So
yay.
thank you for noticing.
Would you still love me if I was a worm of a writer? Would you still love me if I was a bookworm? That's cute.
I'm gonna put that as my status.
Yeah, just stop thinking of it as, I keep wanting to say Angela.
Yeah. Amaya. It's so funny because they both have like A names.
You can't have to stop thinking of it as Amaya's telling the story and just,
like talking to a friend. She is
not. I don't, when I'm writing first person, I don't think of it as Elena and Jamie talking. I just think of it as there's
a narrator but uses I.
Yeah.
And then when they're talking, then it's them talking.
Yes. So okay. I don't think like the only thing where the only time I just think flavor it with their personality, and I see it kind of like seasoning. So like there'll be moments of their personality in the narrative, but it's not going to be the whole thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that totally makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Okay, I really have to pee, and we really need to do a sprint because I really gotta get these.
We don't have to comfort me anymore, but I appreciate it.
All right, folks, we are doing a 20-minute sprint. We will be muted. We will not have a timer on the screen because I'm too lazy to figure out how to do that. Butters is standing on my arm. She's like, well, fine, I'll leave then. And I'm gonna go pee, and then and I'll start writing. Okay, and I'll get myself another cuddle enough. All right, folks. Pull up your work in progress. Let's get to writing. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, folks, how did everyone do? I will go first. Let me see how much I wrote. I wrote a lot. I wrote 930 words. Huzzah.
Wow, that was really good.
Yeah, thank you.
I edited 5 pages.
Nice.
It only took me months to get here, but that's fine. It doesn't matter how long.
When you're writing your first draft, do you worry about overusing pronoun verb at the start of a sentence, or do you just write? I don't worry about overusing that specific type, but I will notice if I'm starting every sentence the exact same way. I worry about it not when I go to the next draft, but when I do this. I do self-editing while I'm doing the first draft, and that's when I will tackle it. But when I'm in the thick of writing, I don't worry about it then. But I also am pretty good about not doing that while I'm in the thick of writing. So
yeah, I'm pretty honestly bad about using repetitive structure, and unfortunately, it's one of those things where someone will point it out to me, and then I can see it. But I usually can't tell until I'm like reading it out loud, or like my husband, whenever if he's like listening to me read it to him, then he can tell. He's like, oh, it kind of sounds similar. He doesn't know what he's. Yeah. This sounds mean. He doesn't know.
Usually, if it sounds robotic, if someone goes, "It sounds robotic," that's what's happening.
Yeah, he's like something sounds like clunky hair. He'll be like something sounds like robot, like the same or something, and I'm like, oh, I know what this is. And then I it's like the veil is lifted and I can see it again. So
213, fantastic. 324. Hello, HB Lee. Welcome.
HB Lee.
1,167. Very nice. 492. Meanwhile, I used some of my birthday gift cards to get a new winter coat and then ate a cupcake. Very nice. Wonderful. We love to see it. I got a new purse and wallet with my gift cards, but not the purse wasn't out on Amazon, but the wallet was. But I'm waiting for them to arrive. I'm very excited. Butters, I'm sorry. You're making me feel real bad. She wants me to play fetch, but I just started scripting, and I still have to pick out which ones I'm going to cover. Womp, 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 womp.
Are there any that you're between or leaning more toward?
Well, I just have to get rid of one and save it for the next video.
Oh, I see. Yes. Or we can together come up with 4 more.
Right. But still, I'd have to decide which one I'm writing now. And
oh, right.
So feel free to come up with 4 more, guys. My wallet has shipped. Where is it? Package has left the shipper facility. Okay, well, I want to know where that facility is.
Does it have the flap?
Yes.
Excellent.
I wanted wet folds.
Ugh.
I just chatted at people and stared at the screen while my brain made dial-up noises. Really actively try to avoid repetitive structure. My high school composition teacher drilled that out of us.
That's a really good teacher.
It becomes easier when it's just like eventually it becomes second nature. Like for me, it feels more awkward to like repeat the structure. It's like this is weird. Butters, you crying at me, but I need to do scripts. God, some of the typos in the script are funny. They were originally going to write about themselves, but suddenly the character can fly and has a black belt and a 6-pack and a 9-inch long dick. So that's one of the lines.
I love that.
And then I said, no one can relate to being able to fly, kick ass, have abs, and a giant dick. And if they can relate, call me. It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. Butters Cliff snored, and now Butters is barking. Who goes there? That was just Daddy. What? I wrote 131 words. I'm also writing a historical fiction novel, so everything everyone says has to be researched for authenticity. Oh, that's why I don't write historical fiction. I just couldn't.
I appreciate your work, but I'm so nervous about it. Writing it and reading it.
And people who are into historical fiction are just so like the readers are so anal. Like people still harp on about the authenticity of Bridgerton, and it's like it's a historical drama. It never promised to be realistic. It never promised.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you upset about this?
It's also like an alternative universe kind of
right.
situation.
It's like it literally.
That's how I interpret it anyway.
Yeah. But that's the difference between like historical fiction and historical drama. It's like it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. That's not what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
Get over it. But people are the worst. Butters, you make me feel real bad.
I like when people talk about, I have to find her, I forget who she is, but she loves looking at, whether they're historical or fantasy or whatever, she loves looking at costume stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because she'll be like, she knows about historical accuracy, where they're like, she's like, wow, this is actually like historically accurate, I'm impressed. Or she'll be like, I love the whimsy on this, or I love the darting on this dress, or like the bell sleeves of this, and like she just talks about like, or the fabric is really hard to use and they made it look beautiful. Like she's really good about like, basically, is it a seamstress? Is that what? That can't be right. A tailor? No, I don't know. A costume maker person.
Probably a seamstress.
A seamstress. What's a man seamstress called then? A seamster? I'm gonna look it up.
Someone asks if it's Bernadette Banner.
I will see.
Okay, Butters, we're moving to the floor so that Butters.
Oh, it's a tailor if it's a guy. No, a seamster is an old-fashioned masculine equivalent.
Okay.
So a stitcher, couturier. Okay, let me look up Bernadette. Well, that's a Bernadette Banner.
I refuse to believe anyone packing 9 inches is good at agility combat stuff. Where are you starting that thing? H.B. Lee, are you familiar with the term he's a grower, not a shower? Are you familiar? Genuine question. That's not me being shady. That's not genuinely, because some people don't know, especially people who are not familiar with, haven't had their way around many penile situations. Sometimes that's a lot of growing, though. Yeah, but if they're just walking around,
it's not Bernadette Banner, but now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's very possible, is what I'm saying. Sometimes they surprise you.
Mm-hmm. I'll find her. Whenever I find her, I'll save her.
How do you avoid overthinking your book in the pre-writing stage? If someone knows, I would love to hear the answer, because I don't know. I overthink everything. The idea in my opinion, the idea is not to, and this is actually something that I'm dealing, because I have OCD, which is basically like a mental illness of overthinking. That's what OCD is. You are such an overthinker that now you are diagnosed with it. And that's something that I work on, is basically you have to learn to get comfortable with the fact that you're just going to feel like shit about it. Like you have to learn to be okay with that. So like, I will be
like
overthinking.
Garbage. So like Jenna's things are like, oh, what if it's a bad book? And mine's like, but what if I write something so bad that you hate me?
Right. See?
It's
Do
so
ERP,
stupid.
Iona.
I will. I honestly will. And now I'm actually making like a livable amount of money. So I can actually I can do more than just my. Sorry, what'd you say?
Mine is covered by my insurance.
That's wonderful. So even my specific type of therapy that I have right now is covered by insurance, but my copay is still $50 each time, and that's just a little. That was a little. I mean, it still is, but it's worth it. But I can add to it. And have therapy. But did you go through No CD?
Yes, that's where.
Okay, I think I'm gonna use that, because.
And that's basically, I went to my psychiatrist and just told her I think I have OCD, and she just referred me to No CD, and it's all covered. But yeah. Okay. all that said is I just write while feeling like shit. I just write while overthinking. Iona can tell you how many times I've told her no one's going to read my rom-com because it features a bisexual man and a gray ace female character. And
Meanwhile,
Iona's like, people will read it, Jenna. Those books exist.
look at the evidence.
But she's showing this evidence, and I'm like, no, Iona, but you're wrong. And then she's like, no, I'm not. Here's the evidence, and I'm like, I see your evidence, but
I know
you're right, but I
raise
like
you feelings. Yeah. Well, the other thing too, I do have to say, I don't think. Well, it is OCD, but I don't think this is a very commonly seen ritual. I think it's just because I've literally talked about just a book idea to someone, not even at length, and they stopped being my friend. So like I'm like have to get through the trauma of that too a little bit.
No, I get that.
You get it. That's
happened to me before too, but a lot of my OCD stems from stuff from that, and it's not a lot of OCD can start from a trauma and then you fixate on it
because there's good parts to OCD,
right?
And I like the good parts of OCD, like our lovely imaginations are from OCD,
right? So that's why I'm not I swear I'm not dismissing your fear. I'm just saying your fixation on it is probably because of the OCD, even though it came from a traumatic place. Yes. Most of my OCD came from a traumatic place too. That's why I'm like, girl, I get it. I get
also, but sometimes just watch, I'll go through ERP and I'll be like, that was ridiculous. But sometimes they need reassurance. And
that's an OCD ritual.
Is getting reassurance? Well, no, I know that, but sometimes I really need it.
I know. That's the thing I noticed I do all the time. I'll just ask Cliff, am I a bad writer? You tell me if I'm a bad writer, right? And now I'm like, oh, that was OCD. Okay.
Damn it. Because I was like, because it's so funny because there's a different particular mental illness that I have that has a lot of like things that people say in like as like either a joke or a turn of phrase or whatever, and it made me not realize that I had that particular mental illness for like a really long time. Because they would be like go get it. This one, or they'd say or like, and I'm like, okay, cool, like that's normal then. But I do need to like figure out. But this is where I'm like, is it because I just needed regular reassurance from like either my husband or from my friend or like whatever, or was this a ritual? I don't know.
I think this is a ritual. That's why.
Damn it! It feels right.
This is a conversation we've had a lot.
Okay, but
which I don't mind. I want to make it clear. I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
But I want you to check the help just because I know. Because I've been that person too, and I still do it. I mean, I still do it to you, with my book stuff. Like, how many times was I worried about talking to you about the rom-com,
Meanwhile, I get like amped up I'm like, yes! And you're like,
so
is it
I'm
bad?
not annoyed by it or anything like that. I'm just letting you know because since I started doing the ERP, I feel better. And so I'm like, I don't want Iona to be stressing about like me. I want you to feel better. That's why I keep mentioning it.
No. That's fair. No. I appreciate it a lot because I would like when you tell me, and like I also like that we're normalizing this so that anyone watching will feel this way too. But what can I be ridiculous? I'm probably gonna cry from embarrassment. Could I be ridiculous about something? It's not about. No, I'm not making you reassure me anymore. I'm all done with the ritual now. But one time. One time you told me, like, oh, I say this with love, you need ERP. And so I went to ChatGPT and I was like, can you give me phrases if Jenna's actually secretly telling me that she doesn't want to be friends anymore? Because I was spiraling too much. So it was like, it actually did a good job. Don't use ChatGPT for therapy, but I wasn't able to see my therapist. Then I did the next day, actually. But ChatGPT was like, this is just a blip in the friendship, if this is even true, but it sounds like it's not. I'm like, even ChatGPT doesn't want to be my friend.
No, I was saying it.
No. Stop
because
no, it was fine. What you did was fine, and I knew I was being crazy, and so that's that's why I was like, what if also this is happening? And then ChatGPT was like, I forget some of the other phrases, but it was like, one of them was like, it's just a blip, but also she's right. I was like, how could you?
Well, like I said, I've noticed such an improvement in my life since I started ERP, and I don't want you to be stressing. Like I don't want you to be stressing out thinking Jenna's gonna ditch me if she doesn't like the book. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to be stressing about that. So I'm like, do the ERP so that you don't have to feel stressed. It's not for me. It's for you.
Help me help you. Oh my gosh. I also think it's funny too, because I'm just gonna say it, but basically, like, one of my biggest fears is like being like Haley. And like, I think that's everyone's fear. And it was just like really upsetting to see it play out of like, oh my God, like this is horrible. And so then whenever I like,
the reason I've lost so many friends is because I've told them that they were being a Haley, not in those words, obviously.
Yes.
And they were like, whatever, I don't care, I'm going to release it anyway. And then
told Haley she was being a Haley, and then she stopped being friends. So I'm like, okay. I'm assuming that's why. Who knows why? But
yeah, so I get it, but I'm telling you, I would tell you. I wouldn't just let you embarrass yourself.
Thank God.
And that's my problem is that I'm the you've got a booger in your nose friend.
Excellent.
People don't want to know they have a booger. Also, hold on, I need to catch up. First of all.
Yes.
Okay. So TM Sparrow said, I'm starting to think I should ask my psychiatrist if I have OCD.
There's nothing wrong with asking.
I put in Cyborg Central a list of mental compulsions. Because I was like, oh, I'm not sure. And it also doesn't help that OCD heavily overlaps autism. So
it does.
I don't have, first I was like, I don't think I have OCD. Then I was like, I think I have really bad OCD. Now I've come to realize that I have mild OCD and that half of my symptoms are just autism. And because they have heavily overlap.
Yes.
But basically, once I saw this list of, because you always think of OCD as like, oh, the compulsion is washing your hands.
Or because it's visual or hoarding too.
Yeah. You always think of that shit, but you'll see that,
which is valid. That's still
valid. A lot of the like one of the mental compulsions is just ruminating, thinking about it for hours and hours. I do that as well. Thought blocking, preventing yourself from being like, nope, I can't think about that. Reassurance, self-punishment. I'm like, oh, I do. Repeating, doing the same things over and over again. I do these things all the time. I was like, oh, so when my OCD therapist sent me this, I was like, oh, so I definitely have OCDs. But anywho, all that said is you can definitely check it out to see if that's the case. But just because we have OCD doesn't mean you do. It could just be that you're insecure about writing, and that's a very normal thing. I'm not saying you don't have OCD. I'm just saying that it's very possible that you're just feeling insecure about your writing, and that is normal too. Yeah. But all that said is to get back to the point. I just write despite the way I feel, and I've learned to tolerate the discomfort. Like I just write, and someone made a comment saying, oh yes, I remind myself that I'll rewrite it later. That's what I just like. I'm not supposed to do that as someone with OCD, but that's something I recommend to everyone else is just tell yourself, I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. For someone with OCD, I'm not supposed to reassure myself. So I just let myself think like, okay, yeah, this might be bad. So what? Keep going.
The hardest, even though my therapist I'm not trained in ERP, but she does know how to work with the trauma aspects of OCD. When I had to be okay with like me not doing a ritual and my like, this is not going to happen. But like whenever Bebo was just born and it's like, oh my gosh, your baby might die if you don't like, I don't know, stay up for 5 days straight. Because that's normal.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I basically had to mentally be like, okay, if she dies, it might happen. And then finally I was able to like handle myself. That's so painful, like, and scary. So
Right.
I'm glad that I've moved on from like death to like maybe you won't like not you, but like someone won't like me. It's like okay, well,
Mhm.
lots of
Yeah.
people don't like me, so that's okay.
Right.
I can live with that.
Well, I used to have I mean, this was before I was diagnosed, but I used to have the kind of OCD where I would think I was going to hell and I was a bad person. And now I don't have that at
Yeah.
all. But that's where I started from being like, oh, I'm a
Yeah.
bad person. I deserve to die and be tortured and murdered.
Oh, I
So,
see.
but I'm not there anymore. So yay.
That's good.
What is ERP? Because I highly doubt it's what I'm thinking. It's exposure response therapy. So it's basically like if you had the kind of OCD where you're scared of germs, the ERP would probably be, hold on, I'm grabbing balls. The ERP for having, I'm just guessing, I'm not a therapist, so don't take my advice. If you had the kind of OCD where you're scared of germs, my guess is ERP could be go to the bathroom and don't wash your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And sit with that. Just like, so like,
or delay it. Oh yeah, the 15-minute rule too, where you delay something 15 minutes. Oh.
So basically you are exposing yourself, like people with OCD, we obsess over a what if scenario, and we convince ourselves that if we do these compulsions, and the compulsion could be tapping 5 times on the wall or checking the stove or it could be
mine's
mental.
avoidant too. Like so originally as I was messaging you, even just like the other day, I was like, oh, I finally edited the first chapter. Left out that I almost had a panic attack, but I didn't. Right. And then I was like, I'm gonna send it. I'm like, if you have time, I'll send it to you. And then I was like, but not the first. I changed it. I was like, not the first chapter, the first 3. Like I changed it instead of just being like the first chapter. It's like the first 3 actually the first 3, like not the first chapter. I'm like, chill out. But I am
But yeah, I sent the list of potential compulsions and stuff in Cyber Central. There's a lot. There's a lot. So like for me, a lot of the compulsions is ruminating over it, where I would just spiral and think about what am I going to do if this happens? And I would do it for hours. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd be up at night for like 6 hours thinking about something. ERP would be that instead of falling into your compulsions, to just sit with that negative feeling. So if you're scared of germs, the feeling would be, okay, I pooped and didn't wash my hands. I might have really bad germs on my hand. And just sit with that. Just sit with it. You're going to feel like shit. You might even almost have a panic attack. And just you learn to get comfortable with that feeling and not fall into compulsions. And the more that you learn to sit with that feeling, the compulsions are basically you not trusting yourself, because you feel like you have to do the compulsion to save yourself. And the more you learn to sit with the feeling and be okay with it, the more you learn to like trust yourself and be like, you know what, I would know if my hands were dirty, or something like that. I'm using that as an example. Everyone should obviously wash their hands before they take a shit. But
no,
it's just
and you have to be careful because there are like ERP books and stuff. But even me as like a dual specialized therapist, I'm going to get ERP. I'm not going to get the ERP book because it's very, very easy to make it worse.
Right.
It's easy
because
to do
it dips into what's that one behavioral therapy that
ABA?
I don't know. But there's like a behavioral therapy that is basically, it's very similar to ERP.
Oh, is it CBT?
Yes.
Cognitive behavioral. I don't like CBT, but that's because it's like more like therapy 101 and it doesn't actually like.
And if you have trauma, it can make it worse.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yep, exactly like that. So where it's like CBT is not okay to use on trauma, but like
if I were to be totally real, the ERP for germs would probably not be don't wash your hands. It would be imagine you didn't wash your hands, because they're not, because if you actually didn't wash your hands, 1, you could get sick, and 2, that would probably put someone over the edge who has OCD.
Also, it was like the SUD scale would be like too quick, but also the because it's standard units of distress is what SUD stands for. But the other thing too is every person, like it's not actually logical. So every person's going to have their own thing. So like it might be about germs, but they might not step on a crack or something, or they might like their job might be to wear tennis shoes, but stand on a piece of trash outside, because that's like really hard for a lot of folks. So
yeah. So like a lot of the ERP I do is like, she's not going to say, okay, purposely put a shitty book out. She's not going to do that. She's just going to be like, okay, I want you to imagine that your book only gets 1-star reviews. Or she'll be like, I get body image issues when I'm around my family. She'll be like, okay, so imagine that you've gained 100 pounds and you're wearing a skin tight outfit around your family, things like that. And you learn to sit with it. And it's crazy because I didn't realize that imagining this, there have been times where I'd come close to a panic attack just imagining it.
Yes.
But ever since I started doing ERP, it's gone so much better. And you just learn to tolerate it. Like one of the big things is I constantly check to see if my garage door is closed. And she's like, don't check anymore. And she goes, every time you've checked, has it ever been open? I'm like, no. She's like, exactly. So I don't check anymore, and I'll get really uncomfortable, and I'll just be like, it could be open. Oh well. And I just
Butters will protect you.
She will fight off.
It's funny.
The masses. But anyway, I hope that helps. Sorry for the.
I think that's super helpful too, and thank you for not making me feel like crazy.
I think Haley is intentionally.
She's been warned so many times, and she decided not. It's what is it? You grow bitter, you get better.
Yeah.
Or whatever. She got bitter.
Yeah. Even ChatGPT doesn't want to be my friend. Has been trying absolutely been there before.
It was so embarrassing. It was like, okay, even if this is true, which is another type of like you're preparing for the worst, which is like another type of compulsion. But it was like it's like you have such a long-standing friendship. There's no reason that would happen. If it does happen, she's been there. It was like writing a eulogy. Like she's been there for all these times in your life, and it's been fine those times. And like so, it's going through all these things of like even if it did end, and then at the end it was like, but there's like really no evidence.
Right.
That this is happening. So this is like a problem. I was like, come on.
Who's Haley? So she was someone who used to do the streams with us. And she released a not great book. And
she released a book that was uncannily similar to another book and Jenna's book. And then in the critique thing, and also like before she published it, she asked us for a quote for it, and both of us were like, hey, we think you have to like fix some stuff first, and we kind of politely declined and like asked if she wanted feedback, and we gave her feedback. Jenna gave her way more feedback than I did. I was just like, hey, there's some issues. And then that whenever I said I suggest not like saying that you're going to release this, it's not quite done yet. The next day she posted that she was going to release it on a particular date, and everything was very weird. And then when Jenna gave her feedback, then she was like, oh my gosh, I have to fix this. I'm like, hello. And then you can see why she's like a worst fear, where I'm like, what if I turn into that? But that's another thing. But so she still released it, didn't take in any of the feedback, and then was doing a lot of weird stuff that was copying Jenna, like, and she would get all excited if someone said she looked like Jenna, which they don't look alike, but she was just being really fucking weird, actually. And then something basically happened where we pointed out some stuff with her second book that she was trying to crank out. And anytime we were like, hey, maybe don't go for this color for the cover, or maybe you would want to do this, or also I think you're missing like this in the plot or whatever, like normal critique partner stuff. She was like, anytime I talk to you, I feel like a bad person, so I'm stepping away. And then she like left and was really weird about it. And so I was like, okay. And then we tried to like ask what was going on. And then there was this culmination of I made some realizations, and some things came to light that I was like, actually, never mind. She's not a nice person. She's actually a mean person. Like it went past after.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to it, but the straw that broke the camel's back, it was another situation of, will you be my critique partner? Yes, we will. Here are critiques. Okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Mm-hmm. And she had been like icing us out for months, but she would still show up to every live stream. So she was still, and it became kind of like, oh, this is like a clout thing, isn't it? Because you're still showing up for the live streams, you're acting like you're friendly with us in the streams, but then you don't talk to us all week.
And then also on the stream, she would say that we said stuff.
Yeah, she would say that, oh, I made me so happy when you said you loved my book, and we're just sitting there like,
what are we gonna do? Publicly say we don't like it? I mean, now we can, but like in the moment we're like, and then, or the big thing that she said is she got really upset that that you said that Wyatt, it was a joke that Wyatt in my book Ashes is like everybody's book boyfriend, and the whole joke is that even lesbians say that he's their book boyfriend because it's happened, like that's true, like that's happened before. That was the joke. And then she's like, I love that Jenna calls mine her book boyfriend, and we're like
No, and at this point, and this is the thing, it's like I can't, like, it's like maybe I did say that to be nice, you know, but like
you didn't.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
I start gaslighting myself, but like
no, what you said
point,
was this is that
I remember at one point, once everything blew up, I started having a panic attack because this is a problem that I have with the autism and childhood. My CPTSD is I'll blame myself for someone else treating me bad. And at one point, I never call my parents when I have a problem. And this time I actually called my parents when I had a problem. Oh, yeah.
You literally said that, which is like the opposite, but kindly. And she was like, oh, I know, I'll put words in your mouth.
Basically, I said he was my favorite character of the book. And she took that as, oh, he's your book boyfriend. I'm like, being the best of the worst isn't like that's not what it means. But anywho, all that being said, I called my parents and I'm like, what if she wasn't plagiarizing me? And they're like, Jenna, you would never accuse someone of that if it wasn't happening.
No, and you still didn't. I did. But I did it nicely, like, hey, I even gave her the benefit of the doubt because I think a lot of us have either accidentally or
we all do
like,
it.
We've like accidentally been like taken too like much from something. They're like, wait a minute, oh my god, this is like I'm writing fan fiction by accident, like, oh no. And so it's like, never mind, I have to toss out this character or something.
IONA like asked me before she said something like, does this sound okay? And basically she was just like, hey, just so you know, this kind of sounds like Jenna's story, so you might want to tweak it so that people don't think because my thought wasn't that she like did it on purpose, and neither was Iona's. We just assumed
I didn't, but the way she reacted, I now do.
Yeah, it's normal to read a lot of stuff and get inspired and not realize that you got a little too inspired. It's normal thing to happen, but the way she reacted afterward, we were like, oh, maybe that wasn't. But anywho, that's a long story. We're tangents.
But that,
let's see.
It was single white female vibes.
Those white ladies about to start. Are we the white ladies about to start casting spells? We're mixed.
I'm half white.
Yeah. Racially, we're white, but ethnically, we know what we look like, but
racially, yeah, or phenotypically.
I was going to say, if you were in California, you would be
I would be white, yes.
But where you live, you are not.
It's not. It's so funny because where I work now, there's all these people that are mixed or whatever. And I stopped being like, are you mixed? Because I was getting so excited. And now people just, or I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm mixed. They're like, I know. Like, it's not like, like, and these are like,
yeah, when you told me that you went up to the Jamaican lady and said, are you Jamaican? I'm like thinking, girl, if you did that over here.
No. Just so you know, that is a Jamaican thing to do that, by the way.
Okay.
Like it's actually like in the Jamaican culture to be like, a Jamaican, are you Jamaican? What part? Like, it's actually part of the culture to do that.
Okay, I was gonna say
no. It's actually part of the culture. For real.
Okay.
No, but like walking up to someone and being like, are you mixed is not as socially acceptable.
I always just very like, it'll be like a casual thing. Like we were on a cruise and guy was like, I'm Puerto Rican. I was like, oh, I'm Puerto Rican too. And he was just like, really? And Boricua. I'm like, yeah, that's me. But anywho, yeah, over here I'm a white lady, but if I probably were to live where you live, then I'd be a Boricua. So oh my goodness. Okay. Germs. Let's see. I don't think that's definitely not OCD. That's probably just your hands were dirty. Because I get that feeling anytime I'm sweaty, and I'm not a germaphobe. Your hands are probably just dirty.
It might be a sensory thing.
Yeah.
Too. Where it's like maybe your hands were sweaty or you had like I don't know, something, and then you're like, I need to like refresh.
Are you Mega Raywin? Are you neurodivergent? Because this could very well just be a neurodivergent thing and not an OCD thing. The tapping, because I have a lot of that kind of shit too. Oh, I know. Don't even get me started on that. Don't get me started.
We said that too. Like everything you're talking about, we did discuss, but it was the decisions.
Well, together it'll be one spell.
Together. Casa.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway.
I think that. Oh wait, did your alarm go off to do a sprint again or no?
No, I haven't set the alarm to do a sprint.
I heard something go off, but.
Oh, that was. We're done fetching.
Oh. Very cool.
Okay. It's like Charmed, but without the problems on set. Okay, but we should do a sprint. But before I go, what should I write about? Okay, I really wanted to talk about. Can I read you what this will get trimmed down? My scripts. Can I read you guys what I have for the script?
Yes.
This will get trimmed down because I always just word vomit. So understand that it'll improve. But this is what I have. Number 1, the self-insert. A self-insert is a protagonist who is based off the author writing the story. Putting it plainly, the writer is putting themselves into the book. They are the hero, and the readers are following their triumphs and failures. Before we dive in, why don't we cover what isn't a self-insert? A self-insert is not a protagonist who has a few similar traits as their author.
Mm-hmm.
If you have black hair and your protagonist has black hair, that doesn't mean they're a self-insert. And Own Voices story is also not an example of a self-insert.
Mm-hmm.
Own Voices is when an author from a marginalized group writes a protagonist from said group. Sure, you're both... Hold on. Sure, you're both a person of color or both of you have ADHD, but the idea is to create more stories featuring these types of characters, not to write about you specifically. Mm-hmm. And lastly, writing from a write what you know place is not the same as writing a self-insert. If you're a soccer player and you want to write about a soccer player because you happen to know a lot about soccer and it would be super easy to write, you can totally do that. But all of these types of characters can become self-inserts if you base the character off yourself, because that is what qualifies a character as a self-insert. And this is a bad idea for multiple reasons. For starters, readers can usually tell when a character is a self-insert. The writing becomes too favorable or flattering toward the character, and, well, your author photo and bio are on the back of the book. They can see the similarities. It ends up reading as arrogant and kind of sours the reading experience. But the biggest problem is that self-inserts make the writer heavily biased toward their story. They can't analyze or revise the character through an honest lens because any criticism toward the protagonist will be taken as a personal jab. If your readers don't like the character, they basically don't like you. And as mentioned before, writers who write self-inserts tend to write them favorably. They create a version of themselves that is stronger, smarter, and more attractive than they actually are. And this nosedives into Mary Sue or Gary Stu territory, which is when a protagonist has literally no negative qualities whatsoever. I personally avoid the terms Mary Sue and Gary Stu because they get overused and used incorrectly, quite frankly. It's really common for incels in the neckbeard community to call pretty much any female character in a male-centric genre a Mary Sue, so the term has lost meaning and validity over the years. But the underlying issue is valid. It's not a good look to create protagonists with zero flaws. And it's also a bad look to base the protagonist off of yourself because you're making it virtually impossible for you to edit and critique your writing with an impartial eye. Does that sound okay?
That sounded great. Every time I was like... And then I was like, never mind. You can
Hold on a sec. Anywho, okay, here's the next one, guys. Sorry for this. Thank you for the point about Mary Susan insults. I had to. And I know I'm going to get shit for it or whatever. On a similar note, number 2, the wish fulfillment protagonist. A wish fulfillment protagonist, this is going to be hard to say, is a reflection of the author's fantasies. It's usually a character who is either a reflection of everything the author wishes they could be, or the ideal type of person the author wishes they could bone. Based on our last point, the issue here should be fairly obvious. A wish fulfillment character that is a reflection of everything the author wishes they could be could very well start off as a self-insert. They were originally going to write about themselves, but suddenly the character can fly and has a black belt and a six-pack and a 9-inch long dick. The character is now everything the author wishes they were, and this is completely unrelatable to the reader. No one can relate to being able to fly, kicking ass, having abs, and having a giant dick. And if they can relate, call me. That's a joke. I'm happily married. But this character type becomes a caricature of reality. It's not believable because they're just too perfect. And when we look at all wish fulfillment protagonists, ones that are based on the author or based on the author's sexual fantasies, we still fall back into the trap of the Mary Sue or Carrie Stu. These characters are physically, emotionally, and mentally perfect. They have no flaws to speak of, and not only is this unbelievable, it's not entertaining to read. Flaws give characters depth and nuance, and you've eliminated that completely. It's totally fine to write a protagonist who you personally find attractive, or to give your protagonist a superpower you'd totally love to have. But they should have but they shouldn't be the full embodiment of your deepest desires. Readers will be able to tell, and you will sink your plot. Does this make sense, everyone?
It does.
Okay. Okay. Don't write with one hand. Sorry, we're doing the tippity tap, guys. Okay, so the next one is emulating your favorite character, writing without agency, unlikable protagonists, or one-dimensional characters. I think I'm going to do emulating your favorite character.
I think that's a good one.
You can do it, Iona.
Wait, hold on. I can do...
You can resist.
Okay, it's so funny because I was like, do it like this? And it's like, literally, like, no.
Okay, I'm going to... Here's my thing.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I just saw this. Sorry, guys, I'm in Cyborg Central right now.
Let me see.
Ace is cracking me up.
Me too.
Oh.
Her little pants.
Oh, did you see Butter's little
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry I'm being quiet. We're having a potential issue about the stream, and I'm just asking if I should say something.
Of course.
Okay, I'm just gonna say the thing. So, we all deal. Sorry, guys. We all deal with family tragedies and tragedies in our chosen and bio family, and it's very, very sad. For example, my husband Cliff broke his spine 13 years ago, and he has had a lot of issues since then. And there was a stint a couple of years ago where he almost passed away, and it was extremely triggering. I normally don't talk about that here. I usually just talk about his improvements, and I don't go into specifics because we all have family situations and stuff that go on that can be really, really hard. And this is a place where we're supposed to be having fun and chit-chatting and doing writing stuff, and it's not really about that vibe. Yes, this is a trauma dumping free zone, unless it's somehow relevant. Like, for example, if I missed 3 videos, then I might say, hey, Cliff was at the hospital. And even then, I'm not going to go into the specifics that could be triggering. All that said, we do have some members that have gone through some horrible things, and some of them come here to have fun and let loose. And so when we go into the comments and repeatedly bring up our personal tragedies, if we are not responding to it, that's because we do not promote trauma dumping in the stream. And I know personally it's triggering for me to constantly hear about someone you love, you know, almost dying or something like that. We have other members in the server who have recently lost loved ones. So when we come here, I'm not saying, you know, I don't know. Like, what am I saying?
It's just making sure you're having like really good boundaries with your own, making sure it's the right setting.
Yes.
Anytime, I still remember being in therapy school, and we weren't like, even in therapy school, like you're not supposed to bring up very particular traumas and things like that. And because it's not the appropriate setting, and it's not like you can't get the support you need, because it's like there's a type of self-harm that does this as well, the oversharing of certain traumas. So definitely it's going to be like more of like a line in the sand of like, we're not doing trauma dumping anymore. But also like I'll just like cut it off.
We're going to have to start
filtering,
putting you in timeout for this. We had just been ignoring the comments for a long time because we didn't want to be mean
or insensitive.
And it was one of those things where I was like, it's triggering for me, but I have had PTSD for years and I can safely handle my triggers. But now that I'm also aware that it's triggering for other people in the chat, for me, it's like, I can take it, but I don't want to make other people take it too. That's fucked up. So we're going to have to start putting people in timeout if they keep doing that. Again, this is not my way of saying like, don't tell us you're autistic, or don't tell us like, oh, my grandma's sick. I'm not saying you can't mention something personal, but trauma dumping is a line that we don't cross into. And if you're having to mention it at every single live stream for the past year and we've never responded to it, there's probably a reason for that. Yeah, just be cognizant that at the end of the day, most of the people here, I don't know them. Most of the people in the comments, they don't know you either. And so it's like, you want to go up to a stranger on the street and be like, so listen to my trauma. It's the same kind of vibe.
Yeah. It's just knowing where to get the most support for yourself, but also not being triggering for other people, because we all are humans together. Yeah. But I'm glad we understand.
Yeah. And I want to be clear that we're very sorry that you went through what you went through. But I know for me, like after Cliff broke his spine, again, I'm not trying to trauma dump, there was like a full year where people would, how it's really funny to watch fall videos on Instagram. There was a full year where people would send me fall videos and I'm like, dude, read the room. My guy fell and broke a spine. I don't want to look at this. Now I'm totally fine with fall videos. But we don't know where, so I can usually I could get over the triggers hearing it repeated in the stream, but we don't know if other people are in the same spot or not. So let's just try to avoid
And there are places for it off of stream, support groups and certain types of therapies and other people who have known the loved one and stuff like that. There are ways to get the support.
And I totally understand being that person who needs someone to talk to about it. For me, I was so lucky when that happened with Cliff that I had IONA and I had an amazing therapist, I'm not going to use IONA as a therapist, but as a friend,
No. Yeah,
but yeah, like it's good to try and find those people. Yes, exactly. This isn't the place for it. We're here to write. This is a Wendy's. Yes. Thank you everyone for my TED Talk and thank you. Okay, people in Cyber Central make me feel. I was like, I hope I'm saying this okay because I get it. I've been there to a certain extent, but I don't. This is a Wendy's basically. Oh, thank you. You guys are so nice. I'm like sitting here like about to poop myself. Not really about to poop myself, but just like, I'm like clutching my security gear. Like, is it okay for me? Well, I had no problem saying that a little boy was ugly.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, so I have a Patreon server. Actually, literally, someone in the server just said
that you're an icon.
Yes, they said. Hold on, let me find it. Whoever said something you said is an icon. And then I said, I know I love this person. And then they said they need to be in Cyborg Central. They're absolutely killing it tonight. So just so you know, you are welcome. Do you stand up? Yeah, so we have a Discord server that you are welcome to join. It's $1 a month and it's through my Patreon. So you are welcome to join. Yes, do you stand up? You mean you guys aren't bartender therapists? I could be you guys are not paid nor available to do that. I love it. And technically Iona's paid to do it, just not right now.
I'm off the clock. That's why I can say kids are ugly.
It's my first time here and I thought it was a thing you did for a second. A thing I did? Wait, what? What was the thing I did? Oh, that's just me like holding the beer? Or like, I want to know. What was the thing I did? This is a Wendy's. Everyone's still going on about it.
I think it's fun.
What is on my tooth? Oh, no. It's not a thing we do.
No. I'm glad. Yeah, good.
Like I said, sometimes I'll give health updates for Cliff just because it impacts my platform. But I never go, there have been traumatic things that have happened and I don't go into the details of that. One, because it's private, and two, because I don't know you guys.
2 weeks ago, something traumatic happened at my work, and I was doing this is just related to live stream. I was doing a live stream the next day, and I was like, I think it was the day of, and I was like, work was a little stressful, and I can't super talk about it, and also can't and also don't want to, but I'm really glad we're doing this.
Yeah. It's just it's fine. There have been times where I've done streams here and I'll be like, guys, my brain isn't working, but really it's my PTSD is really bad, but I'm not gonna sit here and be guys, listen to all of my PTSD woes.
Yeah. But like I was saying, it is a type of if I could be a therapist for a second, it is a type of self-harm. Certain types of trauma dumping in certain settings or with a particular person or whatever. You can not you, but one can figure it out in their own therapy
Mhm.
of like they're using it to self-harm because there's this like weird dopamine release that happens whenever you recount a trauma because your like body's trying to self-soothe. So it's like one of those weird cycles that you can get sucked into.
And also, like, if I know, Miss Outspoken Unicorn said, I know I've been guilty of mentioning about things. I used to trauma dump all the time when I was younger because I didn't realize it was trauma. I thought it was like
Me
normal stories.
Oh
And
yeah.
then it wasn't until like I look back on those instances and I'm so embarrassed because I
Mhm.
didn't realize I was trauma dumping and those people must have like
Me
must have been
too.
so uncomfortable. But I was like, oh, I thought that was just like normal family
Me
stories.
too. Yeah. I would bring up something. I was like, oh well, like whenever you don't like have a home sometimes. It's like, oh no. It's like, well, we've all had to like live this particular way. And it's like, and then whenever I did start realizing that something was not particularly right, or something like, people kind of had a weird reaction to it or a shock reaction to it. And whenever I was a kid, I would be like, well, actually, this happened to kind of like not get attention, but get their attention of like, I know what I'm talking about kind of thing. It's like being parentified. I'm not making sense because I'm being too vague. But basically, we all go through this learning curve.
But look at
Butters in the nose, nostril licking.
Hi. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's the other thing. Yeah, like what Breaking Chains is saying, where it's like, oh, you brought up before it wasn't handled well. Like that's another thing. It's like not only do we have like the trauma-free space, but also like you deserve to be supported when your brain is ready and like supported with doing it, like the appropriate way.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're all learning together though.
Everyone should have. I have a regular therapist and an OCD therapist. I have two.
I love that.
That's how
I have a
messed up my
specialized
brain is.
therapist, so
Yes.
I like it so
Yeah.
much.
Well, it's because my OCD was diagnosed years later, so my normal therapist is like, I don't do that. So
I love that. Like, I do want to point out, even though I'm blind to my own self, I did point out
what was
that I
that? Cliff?
thought you had.
Wait, I'm sorry, I meant Iona. Yeah, but you're right. I'll say what he said in a second.
Oh yeah, because I didn't hear what he said, but I'm like, I want to point out that I was the first one who noticed it.
Yes. Well, you were the reason that I asked my psychiatrist if I have OCD. You were the reason. I was like, oh, she's right.
So, though I might not have insight to my own issues, I did notice it.
That's what friends are for. That's what friends are for. Right, Butters? I'm the one who noticed that you had poo-poo issues, and so we changed your diet. Right? Look at her little teeth. That's what friends... She's like, don't tell everyone on the internet that I had poo-poo issues. She was constipated for a while, but we fixed it. And now you're not constipated. And you look at her, she's so embarrassed.
Her eyes are like...
Cliff said, I think your main therapist is more of a friend at this point, which is true.
No, she's not supposed to be. But also, I get it.
We're like gal pals at this point. Listen, geez, Jenna, save some therapists for the rest of us. I'm just out here accumulating. Gotta catch them all. Where's the Pokemons? Okay, catch them all. Rom-constipated.
That's so good.
She got so embarrassed she left me. She's like, fuck this shit. You guys are just making
somatic
fun of
therapy is awesome.
You guys are just making fun of me. It's funny because she'll poop and then run away from the poop really fast. Like, no!
It came from my butt.
Yes. She's scared of all butt things. Like, as she farts, she immediately turns around like, what happened? It's like, that was you, girl. That was you. Anywho, I was going to do another sprint, but we're already ending things here. Wait, we didn't even do two sprints.
We did one. Do you want to do the next sprint and then by the time it'll be like 5 minutes over basically?
Sure.
We could
I don't want to make it inconvenient for you because I could go for like 3 more hours and be fine. But
I know.
Iona's like...
I don't want to go to sleep. You can't make me.
Okay.
And also, but I am going to actually make myself go to sleep.
Did it sound like the Cartman voice? That's not my... This is Butter's voice.
What's Cartman? What's the Cartman?
Cartman is from you don't know...
Wait, from what?
South Park.
I've never seen South Park.
That's Cliff. I don't know if you guys can hear.
Hilarious! I have heard that. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I always make Butters really sassy. Like she'll be like, "Mom's a bitch. She brushed my teeth and I didn't like it."
I had a dream that we adopted a little baby chihuahua and named her Angel. And then she was my Babo's dog. So maybe one day we can do that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The way I'm sitting in my chair right now, exactly the way Iona just slumped down. And also the South Park makes sense because we call Buttercup Butters.
Yes.
This is a character.
It's so funny because I know of it and I know the voice for sure, but I've never seen an episode of South Park.
I've seen a couple. I mean, Cliff made me watch the one about Trump, where they show his little tiny micro peen and stuff.
That's awesome.
It was very iconic, and they have that one chick and her face is melting off. It was great.
That's
but
amazing.
Anyway, we'll do a sprint so that sorry guys,
so
I'm sorry. There were things to cover. This was fun though. Okay,
it was fun.
All right, guys, we're doing a sprint. Here we go. Oh, Butters, are you coming? Are you coming? Yeah. Oh my goodness. She was like, no, you're breasting. Anyway, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, folks, how did everyone do? I added 2 more points to my video. I just need to pick the last one. Let's see
Nice.
how many I'm at. I wrote 672 words. Huzzah.
Wonderful.
What about you?
I edited a little bit more, but then I had to check some email stuff.
Nice.
So.
Butters and her daddy. I hope you guys got to see Butters hanging out with Butters. Butters hanging out with Cliff. They were being cute, so I showed everyone their cuteness. I'm almost done with the script, so that's nice. And then I've got one more to write tonight. So hey, everyone in Cyborg Central, keep throwing out shitty protagonists that I could talk about. How did everyone else do? 200 words and 1 artistic cigarette. That's not bad at all. 241 and made some tea. 672 words. Wow, twins!
That's awesome.
Finished making curry chicken, got my rice in the cooker, and got to 266. Very nice. Very nice. Cliff is sweater shopping, and I'm helping.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sweaters are lovely.
He's going to turn into a little librarian. He just needs the glasses, but he has perfect vision, unlike me. I'm the blind one. He'll be like, I was looking for my glasses, and he goes, oh, they're right over there. Or he didn't move his head, he just pointed with his eyes. And I'm like, where? And he goes, follow my eyes. I'm like, I
can't see them. They're just 2 tractor beams.
Yeah, he's like, you really can't. I'm like, what do you think the blindness means? You know? So I had him put on my glasses.
It's so weird. Usually what happens is that whenever people get pregnant, they're they can need prescriptions before, during or afterward. But what's really funny is that I had the tiniest little prescription. I was farsighted. I needed them to like kind of read, but I didn't need them. Like I could make it work, but it could cause an issue. And I've needed the tiniest prescription for years. And then I had Babo, and I suddenly didn't need my glasses anymore. And I got them very checked. And I was like, what happened? Did you fix one thing in my body?
Right.
While everything else fell apart?
I am magic.
Yeah.
I am magic. He could just get frames for the look. Do you want to get glasses for the look, Cliff? He could be Clark Kent.
Hell yeah.
He says, hell yeah. He could be blonde Clark Kent. I almost called him Clark Clint.
A little bit of white in my hair.
Yeah. It would look cute. 232 words, fantastic, lots of editing, amazing. 342, 38 and 2 weeks, pregnant. What?
I don't know, but it reminds me of the Lubelin song where he's like, am I pregnant?
Clark Clump. You don't want to look like a college professor because they're all rapists. Well, not rapists, but they're all creepy. They all sleep with their students.
A lot of them are.
Yeah. I had one really... I've had 2 really fantastic male college professors.
I've had quite a few actually. They're really, really good.
I had a 3rd one, but I'm so embarrassed about that one because it was another situation where I look back and I loved that professor. I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was before I knew certain things about life, and I said some things in that class where I'm just like, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. I'm so embarrassed. But there are 2 other professors that I really, really like, and I'm not embarrassed about.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I can't talk.
Yep.
We did it at the same time. 34 plus 35. What is going on? What is all this?
I don't know what we're typing.
Something?
I don't know. But Babo was born at 33 weeks, so that was horrible.
I'm like, is this another 6'7" thing? Like 34, 35, 6'7"?
It's so funny because now the kids are like, think that 6'7" is over because it is. And now anytime someone says 6'7", instead of saying like that's over, they go 8'9". Instead of 6'7", they'll go 8'9". Like, because they're like, that's so stupid. I'm like, bro, you were saying this 2 weeks ago. This was the thing 2 weeks ago.
Karina,
so
my niece at my birthday thing was like, Auntie Auntie Jenna, have you heard of 6'7"? And I'm like thinking, oh, the 7-year-old's got it now. It's probably not cool anymore.
Yep. No, that's like whenever Babo came home before she was 4, when she was 3, and she goes, she said it with this cadence too. 6, 7, but your mom's an 11. I know I keep bringing that up, and I'm like, I'm glad you think I'm hot, but no, we're not saying that ever again in this household.
Yeah, when Karina said it, I'm like, oh, it must be ending because you're 7 years old. So
yeah,
if it's gotten to the littles, that's when it stops being cool. Sorry, Iona and I are talking shit. Oh, it's an Ariana Grande song. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't listen. I'm not cool.
I'm so
not
sorry.
My favorite bands are Slipknot and Nine Inch Nails and Sleigh Bells. So I've never heard an Ariana Grande song of my own volition. The only Ariana Grande song I like is the "This is the part when I say I don't want you, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more." That's how good I am at
I
singing.
know there's an Ariana song that I like, but I can't remember. I think she's very talented at singing, and I think she's a shit person. I would not be friends with her.
Yeah, she's not a good.
She wouldn't be friends with me either. It's fine.
Is it shit about me? Yes, Thomas.
Absolutely.
About you.
Yes, Jenna, I love you. That's the only Ariana song I like, but I really like it, and I love that video of Bad Bunny when he's doing that car karaoke, and he's like trying so hard to speak English, and then that part of the song comes on, and he's like trying really hard to speak English. Then he's like, "This is the part where..." It was just so cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, she's not a good person. She also seems to be going through some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might just be the heroin chic coming back in style, but
I think she got traumatized on set. There's no way she didn't.
Well, I mean, especially because everyone's like
everyone had like some sort of eating disorder or disordered eating something on sets. They reported it themselves, like so. I like the "We Can't Be Friends" one. We can't be friends, and then there's also what's this one?
She's a very talented singer, I will say that.
Talented.
I don't judge anyone for liking her. It's just not my thing, but I do love that "Break Free." Da, 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 da,
one last time, because I do like one last time.
Really? I did not know about this.
She actually said it out. Oh, very recently. Okay. I knew they wouldn't be friends for long because...
Well, I mean, look at what she does to people.
Yeah.
Not saying it's her fault, because I don't know the tea behind this.
No, but not the eating disorder part, but like she cheats on everyone and she's not loyal to people. It's a character issue that I struggle with.
And this is me just going from a personal place. And I'm immediately having a personal reaction to this, and it's probably not like this at all. But I just think back when I was in high school, I was like really underweight, and it was because like I hit a growth spurt and I didn't gain any weight. So it took a while for me to like gain weight to match my height. So for you guys who don't know, I'm really tall. I'm 5'9", which is really tall for a woman. And I was 5'9" by the time I was 15. And I was still 90 pounds, which for anyone who doesn't know, that is unhealthily underweight for someone who's 5'9". Like, even if someone is 5'1" and 90 pounds, they still look thin, you know? So I was skin and bones. And, but it wasn't anything of my doing.
It was your growth.
That's
happening to Babo right now, where like, we're like, feeding her Pediasure because we're like, please, but she's just sprouting right up and not get like staying the same weight but sprouting up. So we're
Right.
like,
You either grow out and then up, or up and then out, and I grew up and then out. And so it wasn't anything I was doing, but I remember one girl who was my friend in high school just came up to me and dead face said, "You are the reason I have an eating disorder." And I just said, "I have nothing to do with it. That is on you comparing yourself to me."
Oh, the reason I didn't think they'd be friends is because in the beginning they had this contract. I heard about it from Dr. Anna actually. But they had this contract where they're like, they had a no drama contract that they both signed where they would be best friends and have no drama on set. And I'm like, people don't have to usually make a contract like that. That's weird. That's really strange. Ow, could you?
So I'm not saying that that's what happened with Ariana blaming Cynthia, because I obviously don't know the ins and outs. But when I read that, my first thought was, I have an eating disorder because of you. and me standing there looking at this bitch like, are you serious? Like, what? Oh God, yeah, the weight struggle when you're tall, especially as a kid, when you're, exactly.
Yeah. Also, Thomas, you and me both, for some reason, I keep getting that kind of ED commercials, and I'm like, I have no problem getting it.
I get a lot of, because I watch like nothing but, well, I actually watch a lot of stuff, but my primary entertainment is RuPaul's Drag Race and Heated Rivalry. Almost all the ads I get are for gay men.
So dating sites, maybe prep, not saying that's just for gay people, but prep is like a common one.
But they do target it. I get a lot of prep ads.
Targeted ad. No, mine are all about hair transplants and ED stuff. And I'm just
I get a lot of ED, I get hair transplants, I get like stuff to regulate your bowels, so but specifically for so you could do shit.
Yes, that's so funny.
And then
it's like, you know what? Health. All those are great for people to know about, but like the targeting is wrong.
Yeah, but I have
like put some like plushies in front of me and I'll be like, oh my God, I have to have that. But
then meanwhile my ads on Instagram are all just Amazon fashion. And it's like, oh look at those clothes. That. So Instagram knows that I am
mine are all cases.
In my 30s.
They're cases for phones and cases for Kindles.
Yeah, and then
you're driving me nuts, buddy.
And then the TV thinks I'm a gay man. I agree, but I'm just aware, and even Cliff will point out, because he'll be watching the shows with me, and he'll be like, do they think that he's like, this is offensive that they're only targeting these kinds of people? And I'm like, I know.
I was like, that's why I was like, prep is like good for everybody,
right?
And it's like, that's fine, but I just think it's funny that they're like, oh, we know these gay guys will like it.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have this extreme of a difference, but I was in a lot of pain. So much so that my mom
was probably in so much pain, and they said he was in so much pain at the bottom.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. Sorry. I really like Busy Grover. My mom took me to the doctors because she was like, does she have bone cancer? And they're like, no, she just has growing pains. The TV thinks I'm a gay man. Sounds like something your conservative grandpa says. No, I just get a lot of, like, I'll get those, like, gummy ads that are supposed to help with the fiber and pooping, that, like, Alaska Thunderfuck will be in the ad, I'm like, okay. Also, I get a lot of the RuPaul ads where, like, the RuPaul queens are in the ads, but it's for, like, sparkling soda. So I don't mind. I just think it's funny that my TV thinks I'm a gay man. I'm like, yes, close. Not really. Well, I don't know. I like whatever. Anyway.
Oh, I was thinking, actually, this makes sense. Hold on. Here's my conspiracy theory.
I still get them occasionally as well. It could be Ehlers-Danlos. Just throwing that out there.
Yes. I have Ellie stand lows. You can join me. We can do shit like this.
Yes, it's because it's
That's what I didn't realize that till you just said that, and then I was like, wait a minute.
They're like,
Maybe
they see
it
me
is
and
relevant
this
because I'm
guy
like,
is
why
out
don't
and
you
proud.
think I'm a gay man? Like you should, and now I realize.
They know, they think I'm out and proud.
Yeah, they think you're out and proud, and they think I'm closeted Appalachian.
Yeah, they're like, this poor Mormon Republican who's just has same-sex attraction. He doesn't know yet.
Or he knows, but it's secret.
He knows, but he's not telling.
Yes.
Butters. What about you? Look at you. You're just a baby. Come on. She's like, I'm getting out of here. Look at her skirt. Her skirt
butt.
She needs a trim so bad. Grandpa, no. Yeah, I mean, it's not.
There are lots of different kinds. I think there are like 12 or something different kinds. Some you can genetically test for, some you cannot. Like the kind I have, you cannot genetically test for. But if you have the classical kind with the stretchy skin, you can. All sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just throwing it out there. I'm not saying you have it. Because I knew that I was still getting growing pains. I'm like, maybe I have EDS. And the more I looked into it, I'm like, no.
You're just hypermobile in some places.
Yeah, I'm just hypermobile. And no, I don't know what is that what I said? Sorry. But we should probably end things here. Friendly reminder, guys, that next week it's going to be a different setup. We're going to have a live stream at noon, and it's going to be me doing a roundtable discussion for Pharaoh Society, which is a fantasy romance society. You can follow them on Instagram at Pharaoh Society. I think that's what they're at now. They used to be Pharaoh. You might have heard of them referred to as Pharaoh Feb in the past. Let me just check this. Yes, they are Pharaoh Society now on Instagram.
We'll go follow them.
And so it'll be me, and unfortunately Iona will not be joining us because she will be at work like a normal human being.
I'll be at work, and I haven't joined the club yet.
Yeah. So it's 4 hours earlier, and I will be hosting 4 really popular fantasy romance authors. It'll be Tassandra Odette, Serena Knighton, Mallory Dunlin, and Claire Sager, and we will be talking about writing fantasy romance, and I will be the host at picking their brains all about writing fae and all that good stuff. And then after that, we will resume our normal writing sprints streams. So yeah, I hope to see you then. I hope to see you then. And also keep in mind, I will have a video coming out on Wednesday. Pre-order The Savior's Army. I will be doing a tiered event where once we reach certain sales tiers, I will be giving out certain prizes. I haven't announced that officially yet, so here's the unofficial announcement. So yeah, pre-order The Savior's Army. Check out How to Write Romantasy. It's all linked in the description below. Iona, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Creepycore and Folklore. You can check out my website. I've got lots of good stuff there. And you can check out my book, Ashes. It's on Amazon in ebook and paperback options. And it's also on Audible in an audiobook option. And I do crystal ball readings. And Twitch is Creepycore and Folklore. And we do Writer Wednesdays. And this time my electricity won't go off, hopefully.
And that's about it. Tune in on Wednesday for a new video. Tune in Monday at noon for the live stream. And go pre-order my books. Here's Butters and Cliff. Hi. Sorry. Signing out. I think that's it. Yeah. Right. Okay.
I think that's
don't leave, Butters.